Hospital Porters, Pride and Dignity, Stop the New World Order. Welcome to HPANWO TV, and welcome to this. This is the fifth in my series of experimental, but only just experimental now, because they work quite well, I think. Comments, replies videos, where I reply to your viewers' comments. When you put comments on one of the videos, I'll just make this video replying to them, and I do that because I have difficulty finding the time these days to actually write out individual comments to each of you. I think I ought to reply to comments because you guys, you know, you go to a lot of trouble putting comments on videos, so I feel obliged to respond. Now, I'll put little notices in the comments where you put comments in your video. In your video, I'll just put a little note in there as a reply to that comment. This is a cut and paste standard, just saying thank you for your comment, it will be answered in a video that will be available shortly, that kind of thing. And now for some reason some of you find that offensive, and I don't know why, but some people say, will you stop sending me these little round robin things? And I said, well, you know, what's the problem with it? But anyway, need something a bit stronger than that because it's getting close to Christmas. Yeah, anyway, well, I mean, the reason I do this, as I was explained, it's simply it's not only have I found that it's actually the only way I can really reply to you all properly, but in a sensible space of time, but it's actually quite fun. I quite enjoy making these comments, replies videos, to be honest. Now, if you want to know, the thing about it is, obviously this is going to be a very long video. My comments, replies videos so far have been, I think they've all been over 2 hours. That's because of the number of comments I'm getting, which I appreciate. Now, I do appreciate when you guys do comment on my videos. It's really nice of you to do that, to take the time to do that. And some of you know, sometimes you say you enjoy the videos, sometimes you say you don't like them, and you explain why. Either way is fine. I think I'm grateful for you just to take the time to give me feedback on the videos on HPANWO TV. Now, obviously, if you want to reply to a comment, you think to yourself, well, Ben, this is a 2 hour plus video. Have I got to watch all of this to get a reply to my comment? No, you don't. Okay, there's a very simple method for avoiding that. And what I'm going to do is, the way I've decided to do this is to answer these questions all in order, answer these comments all in order. So I start with the oldest, and I work my way through to the most recent before this video is uploaded. Now, the way I do that is because every time someone puts a comment on one of my videos, I get an email notification. So in my email inbox, all the comments are there arranged in chronological order. This means that basically all you have to do to find out, you don't have to watch the entire video, you can actually skip forward, use the slider to skip forward to the right part of the video where I will answer your comment, or you probably get there within 15 minutes. Now, the way you do this is very simple. Look at the date of the last comment, comments video. So, for example, the last comments reply video I did was on the 28th of November. Okay. Now, look to the date of this one, which is the 23rd of December, the day before Christmas Eve, and look at when your comment was. So, for example, supposing you made a comment on the 12th of December, okay, and you want to know, you know I'm going to answer it. It'll be about roughly halfway through the video that I'll get to it. Obviously, some comments take more than others, but on aggregate, they sort of balance out. So you'll probably hit it within 15 minutes. Okay, and if you go for 15 minutes and you haven't heard it, maybe you need to rewind a little bit, or maybe go forward a little bit. But I promise you, I'll reply to all comments. So that's how it works. All right. So I hope that is satisfactory. I'll tell you what. Are you having a nice Christmas, everybody? I hope you are. I mean, it's now the day before Christmas Eve, and tomorrow Santa is going to get in his sleigh. And no, I don't believe. I believe in a lot of things, but I don't believe in Santa Claus. Right. Yeah. Anyway, I've got something a little bit stronger. It's actually Christmas, so I'm not. I normally have this sort of cordial. But I thought, seeing as it's Christmas, I'd treat myself, get something a little bit stronger. So I'm going to be drunk in charge of a video camera now. So I'll tell you what, by the time I get to the end of these comments, it's going to be real. If there's any really nasty ones, I'll get angry, because I'll turn into a drunk bastard and I'll start raging at you. I'm the only one drinking that, so I can lick the top. Cheers and Merry Christmas to you all. Okay, so let us begin. Oh, let us begin. Right, this is going to be a long video. I might not be able to do it all in one go, actually, if it's too long. Okay, okay, go right. So I'll go right back to the 28th of November. And the first comment was from Arak Seapoom. Now, I know who Arak Seapoom is. Arak Seapoom is Roaring Water Bay. And he usually asks me for things. He did ask me for my clothes last time. Oh dear. Anyway, yeah, I know Roaring Water Bay and I go back a long way. So there you go, Roaring Water Bay. Thanks for that comment, but he just says no one will. Oh, it's this is part of a conversation we were having, just a bit of banter. Okay, so that's Sam Penn has posted on UFO Disclosure 2016 WikiLeaks. There we go. Yes. Right. Yeah. BS video takes so long to get to the point. Had to stop at the 5-minute mark. And so I just said that I would reply to his comments in the comment reply video, Sam Penn. And Sam Penn says, I didn't ask a question, I made a statement. Ben, you must get to the point or you will lose people with small talk. Peace. Oh, alright then. I'll tell you what, I'm going to be cheeky and just send him another one of these. But he it gives instructions about. There's instructions in these notices actually. The full notice reads, thank you for your comment. It'll be on a bloody toilet. That's upstairs toilets. In a video that will be available shortly. The replies are in chronological order, so if you don't want to watch the whole video, see where I uploaded the last comment reply video to see how much time there is between that one and the last one. Then check the date of your comments. You should be able to judge where I'll answer your comments to within 15 minutes or so. Alright, yeah. This was I've got some comments waiting approval on that one as well. I'll just okay. So I always approve these comments, even the spam ones I can delete afterwards. There we go. No, that's it. Right. Okay. So Sam Penn, thank you very much. Right. Just a comment on. I hadn't had a comment on this one for a while. Alien Autopsy and Anthony Peake. This is from Charlie C. Just catching up, Ben. Happy birthday. I enjoy your videos. Feel free to talk about whatever you like. I always come away with something to think about. I'll just put this in here. Okay, but thanks, Charlie. And I'm glad you. That was back on my birthday, yeah. So cheers, Charlie. Okay, next comment is Charlie C again. Oh, wait, this is quite a long one. Okay. I just wanted to mention that your comment regarding the strange feeling in the station reminded me of a question on Quora recently. Is that a TV show? What people don't know about Japan. Oh, right. Apparently train delays are always due to suicide. Most Japanese don't know that the family cover the costs incurred when a suicide leads to derailment. The state asked the bereaved families of suicide victims to compensate them. Some stations, especially subways, have barriers to prevent both drunk people and suicides from getting on the track. Similar to what you see at airport shuttles, glass all the way from top to bottom, sliding platform doors. Just an interesting fact, no need to respond. I'll just say, okay. But I'll just say, okay, cheers, because... but I will respond to that, Charlie, because I mean, I noticed that the Circle Line has done something similar in London, like at Westminster. They've got like these floors. They just got doors basically. The platform ends in a window, and the train pulls up, and the doors of the train match up with doors in the windows, and they slide across like lift doors. I suppose it stops people falling off accidentally or on purpose. As I said, there are suicides on the underground that way as well, where people just jump in front of trains as they're coming into the station. And Japan, of course, Japan does have a very high suicide rate. I mean, I think that after Fukushima, one of the guys one of the managers killed himself after the Fukushima disaster. But it was traditionally they stabbed themselves in the stomach. That's the traditional Japanese way to kill yourself. Harikiri, they call it. But cheers, thanks for that, Charlie C. Right. UFO Disclosure 2016 WikiLeaks again, and this is Golon Drids. Ben, good video. I like the intro music. May I know the name and son artist? Thank you. Gina. Oh, Gina. Right. Okay. The artist is called Chris Zabriskie, and It's the titles are at the end of the video. You can use it. It's actually available for free, but it's on an attribution license. So if you're going to use it on your video, make sure you put his name, put the artist's name somewhere on there. I think it's a he, not a she. Just put the artist's name somewhere on there. Okay. But it is. I do like the music this person produces. I really do. I think it's man. It could be Christine, but I think it's Christopher Zabriskie. And I use them on most of my videos at some point. I think he seems to have a tune for every occasion. This is on the last reply to comments video, and it's from Esculent. Here we go. Yeah. Because yeah, I should point out, if you make a comment and you delete it, I will still get the email notice. All right. So I've several people put comments and then deleted them because they thought better of it, and I've still managed to read these comments out. And I will read the comments out, even if they're deleted. Okay. So do bear that in mind. But this is from Esculent about mass immigration. I totally agree. We shouldn't turn on those who take advantage of the opportunity to better their lives, even when it's our expense. But with those who, forwarding globalism, allow for our exploitation, I feel sure that as an ex-hospital porter, you have made many an immigrant your friend, as have we all. But I'm sure you would also agree that if our hospitals were not burdened by such using their services, they could cope all the more easier, and the same goes for the rest of the infrastructure, schools, etc. I mean no ill towards those taking advantage of this opportunity, but denounce the globalist policy which undermines the very foundation of our citizenship, democracy, etc. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he goes on to explain how he's opposed to. Yeah, this is a long comment. I can't read out all comments if they're too long, but he says basically he's opposed to mass immigration, and he says the policies of balkanisation, that is where nation states are artificially generated by basically by drawing lines on a map, and some larger countries are split up into smaller ones artificially through diktats from the government, and the mixing of peoples to the end of ruling over them is not a new phenomenon but old. Now this is yeah, and he's actually got an article, link to an article here, and there's a website, Esculent, esculent.co.uk, and he's got an article called Nimrod Rising. He's very pro-Brexit, like I am. Well, I mean, this is true, and I actually did. I think I made this point in the video that that mass immigration and multiculturalism is being used as a tool. It's a tool of the globalists, which is being used to basically set up the conditions for the destruction of our society. I think what they're going for is a civil war at the moment. They're hoping there'll be a civil war between peoples. For reasons I've explained this on other videos about how they're stirring up the Muslims. They're actually creating Muslim radicals. They're carrying out false flag terrorist attacks, and they're destroying individual nation states, the cultures of individual nation states. At the same time, I do caution people against getting angry with individuals, as I've explained. I think Esculent understands that here. Being in the hospital portering service exposed me to a very cosmopolitan society. I was part of a very cosmopolitan community. And some of these people who were immigrants in the hospital portering service, I developed a bond with closer than a brother. And so as I said in the comment, it's important not to get angry with individuals and taking out on individuals. That's what I'm against. And Edwardian lady says underneath, well said. So she agrees. Yeah, so Edwardian lady said that too. Now, UFO disclosure, WikiLeaks. This is privileged Kadiaks. What's this about? Right. Oh. Right, this is a deleted comment. No, hang on. It's an edited comment. All right. All right. You kept the comment there, but edited it after I got the notification. So I'm not going to. Yeah, I'm not going to. Did I put up the thing for? I think I did. Yeah. I'm not going to. I'm not going to read out the thing you did before you edited it, but Privileged Kadiak said, I laughed so hard. If America truly wants to know about aliens, go to Africa and find the African kings, herbalists of West Africa, or the shamans around. Well, that's true. I think I know what you're saying here, and that's actually very true. You're talking about, I think, if I'm correct, I'm just going to double check that I actually sent a notice to Kadiak, so whatever his name is. not Kadiaks, they're too escalant. Because I think there are people in because there are people in the indigenous cultures of Africa, people like Credo Mutwa, who do know about aliens. They have knowledge of aliens, basically, and they have ancient knowledge, which is, for instance, UFOs have crashed in Africa and they've been retrieved by the shamans. The shamans of the various tribes, and they have mythology about these things. And because there was in the old days there was no Roswell type events, they even had aliens among them. It's a big subject, but I do recommend the Reptilian Agenda, which is it's a 6-hour video by David Icke where he interviews Credo Mutwa, Zulu shaman. That's from South Africa, but the culture, he's travelled all over Africa. He knows about the people of West Africa as well. Interestingly, West Africa is where zombies come from as well. And when you watch my zombie video, I talk about that. And there's another, Privileged Kadiaks has written another article here, which it basically says the same thing in a different way. So he then deleted that, and then he says something else. Yeah, well, is this a deleted article? Now, Privileged Kadiaks then says, well, when the government know you have the power to communicate with these beings, it became a huge threat. They want to be the only one. They disregard people in the area of countries who have access to UFO intelligence. Might sound like I'm joking. I am not. No, I believe you. I do believe you. I think you're right there. Yeah. So I'm sure that's correct. So I'm just going to do a double check now. I mean, I think I've got to be careful about this, about actually sending reply. Did I put a comment notice? I did, yes. So I'm just double checking. I mustn't be paranoid. I just need to be sure what's happening. Okay. Yeah. So thanks very much for that, Privileged Kadiaks. Privileged Kadiaks now has commented on reply to comments 4, my comment reply video, and it's fun to see you connecting with your audience. Great job. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Privilege. And so I like to talk to you guys. Like I said, I think it's the least I can do when you take the time to give me this feedback. The least I can do is respond. And I know replies are very, very important. I mean, Slaxer, I know, is always urging his viewers to comment, and I try to comment on videos too myself when I'm watching other people's videos. Right, I think this is another one on WikiLeaks disclosure. Right, yeah. This is a big long one. Interesting. We know about this. I heard many stories growing up about beings from another world. I am friend with kings that tell me many stories, and also my mum told me of a story of a real-life king, and this turned out to be a reptilian. Oh, right. Oh, that sounds just like what Credo Mutwa was talking about. I think this guy knows about indigenous African. My friends, this is a very long article here, a very long comment, but my friend is a herbalist, historian, shaman. They have been communicating with beings for a long time, over 200 of them from different solar systems. They call them gods. Find out about the true Yorubas, Namibians, Zulu, Egyptians, part Germany, Rome. The beings, more African culture, and you will know the truth. Not the modern controlled one. Oh, that's true, Kadiaks, yes. Well, let's just see. I mean, David Icke makes the same point. It's almost like nothing happens unless it happens in America or Europe, and there's a whole world out there where things do happen. And Privileged Kadiaks was once again replying. He's really gone through my. This person's really gone through my videos. Now this is on reply to comments again. Trump is only playing along with what they want till he enters the office. Trump does not have a heart towards his people. They are scared of him, and they don't trust him. They are all the same family, but he has betrayed their trust like JFK. They will do everything for him not to be president. Forget democracy in America. We now have crazy memes. All right, okay. I won't bother putting a little comment reply thing there because Privilege knows that I have replied to him or her. Now this comment, I don't think this may be a comment that was meant for the President Trump video, but I think I may have brought up Trump in the comments. I'm going to do another video about Donald Trump, actually, closer to the time of his inauguration. Although I'm still wondering. I mean, I wouldn't bat an eyelid if I turned on the news and found out someone had shot him. In fact, I'll just go to a news website just see, is he alive or dead? I mean, I know I said, well, if they're going to shoot him, they'd have shot him months ago, but it's all the same, I still do wonder. No, it's nothing. No, Trump is still... Trump at the moment is still alive and well, at least it hasn't been reported in the news otherwise. But I get a feeling he is actually becoming... He is in danger, and perhaps he knows that. However, he's also making some worrying noises that indicates he's becoming more conventional, and I'll say more about that later. It could be he's not going to be the... He may not be the revolutionary maverick he appears to be in his campaign. I'll say more about that in that particular video, but I did bring it up slightly in the President Trump video. I'm going to say that wasn't a very... I didn't like that video actually very much. I think I was a bit rambling and speculative, and I said some things about Mike Pence and things which I don't think are true. But I will correct that. I will correct that in my future video about Donald Trump. Of course, if he never makes it to the inauguration and someone takes a pot shot at him, or he goes for a walk in the woods and has a heart attack, I'll make another video then. Right, so I'll just close that. Here we go. Right, delete. Oh, more. Oh, more. There's another one here. Privilege is getting very, very vocal here. By the way, as far as people commenting negative comments and attacking you, ignore them. Common sense is not common. Not all have it. Some will get lucky, others will never get it. Live your life, smile, be fulfilled within you and be happy. As per your ex, don't think too much about it. It takes strong people to have a good relationship in this Western world. Lots of stress and peer pressure, kind of selfish environment. When all is eased up, things will fall back into the place. Hashtag live for live and always be happy. Happiness is something you create. No one can truly give it to you. Well, thanks, Privilege. And the only reason I reply to negative comments is when they're amusing. I mean, I had one today. Actually, I had to actually threaten a guy today because he was posting stuff which was truly... It wasn't on my video. It was on someone else. It was on another video, but it was truly... I mean, I say offensive. Offensive. I don't have a problem with being offensive. Free speech is about being offensive to people, and I have to accept that people are allowed to be offensive to me. That's not the problem. The problem is he was actually saying things that were defamatory to me, in terms of like defamation against my character, something that could get me into trouble. So I had to threaten this guy with basically legal action. As for my ex, Sue, a stain as I called her, yeah, I mean it's. I think it's quite amazing we were together for 8 years. I mean, how many people are with the same partner for 8 years nowadays? I had some good times with her. I'm grateful for that. I'll never forget her. But, you have to move on. I'm not a kid. I know how this world works. You just have to get back in the saddle and move on. And Privilege says again... what's this? As a creator, you can now pin... No, bugger off. What's this? Have warm water beside you next time. It'll help the cough. As human, you have the right to cough and also to drink water. Lol. People are so funny. Like they don't cough and shit. Yeah, well, yeah, I had a lot of complaints about that. But it is gone now. It took a while, but it buggered off eventually. It's cough. So thanks, Privilege. Oh! Another one from Privilege. Oh, you've been very... Oh, he's deleted it. But he said here, at White came from Mars, ha ha ha. As a young girl, as young as I was in Africa... Oh, right. Sorry, this is a female. Sorry if I ever called you he. I sometimes get a feeling of whether someone's a man or a woman from their style of speech, and obviously online you can make a mistake about that. As a young girl, I was in Africa. Black people gave birth to all white. Quite a lot of white babies in Africa. No one is doing research about it. I am. Alright, sorry, Privilege, it's a shame you deleted that comment. That sounds interesting. Are you saying that black women were giving birth to white babies? Not just the mixed race babies because they had they conceived a child with a white man. You're saying they were giving birth to white babies? Because that could indicate something like genetic engineering or maybe changelings, switching babies in the womb. I mean, we see a lot of the aliens, the Nordic aliens, are very, very sort of they're almost exaggerated Euro-Caucasoid people in terms of their race. So please, could you tell me more about that? I'm ashamed you deleted that comment, it really is. But now I know you're a female and you come from Africa. Okay, thanks. But people from Africa know these things. It's very often part of the folk tradition, and it never gets into the West. Okay. Okay. Where am I? Delete. Okay. Privilege. Kadiaks. The way you pronounce my name the first time is right. What's your responses to the end? Great job. Bye. Oh, thanks for Privilege Kadiaks. Thank you. She's like put. I think that's more a dozen comments she's put on there. So I appreciate that very much. So thank you very much, Kadiaks. Oh, she's back. Bam. Here we go. Here we go. Bam. Here we go. It's just, okay. Abam in Yoruba means something abnormal. Abam. Yoruba is a language from West Africa, widely spoken language in West Africa. You can also do research about UFO in languages, I must add. This is a great insight for all ufologists. You will be surprised what you will find. Many languages are created and passed down through the ages and let the world know we are not alone, and never alone. If people can share the experience of Tesla, they will create a lot, including you. I must also tell you, Ben, sometimes they come to give you information physically and spiritually. Aliens are online now, oh my god. Especially Facebook pages. They have fuzzy, blurry pictures. They look like humans, but when you look in their eyes, you will feel airy feelings. They lack in common sense. Their post and comment on your post are always wrong or post wrongly. Now, truly, bye. Yeah, thanks, Kadiaks, Privileged Kadiaks. I know this thing about aliens is very interesting. Like I said, I'd love to know more about what you've discovered from Europe, from your experience of living in West Africa and the UFO issue there. I mean, I write for a UFO magazine, and I'm always looking for new UFO experiences from around the world to feature in these magazines. I've just done one from Transylvania. There's the next one's going to be about UFOs in Transylvania, where the vampires are. So very, very interesting. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. As for the aliens on Facebook, well, at the moment it feels like everyone on Facebook is an alien, to be honest. Facebook is just like it's like walking in on a bar and brawl every time you log in. Alright, next one. This is Bigfoot in Britain. Shane Robinson says, you never know, people. Still they say there are no big cats in the wild here. There are big cats in the wild. See, that's true. Yeah. So thanks for that, Shane. Edwardian lady. Hello, Edwardian lady. How are you? Yes, says Edwardian lady comments regularly. She's a great lady. You're right about Jill Stein. She's going to take the money and run. Biggest troll of Hillary supporters ever. Yeah, well, she did, didn't she? It's quite funny. I mean, since I made that video, they did the recount, right? They only did recounts in one state, Wisconsin. Michigan and Pennsylvania, she missed the deadline somehow, you know. She was really, as I said, you know, I think that was her intention, because then she can keep the money. And people are donating money to her to do this recount. You donate the money to her directly. You don't donate it to any organisation, you just give her the money, and she says you can do the recount. The recount was carried out in Wisconsin. It was very funny, because on the first day, it turned out Trump got one less vote. On the next time, it turned out Hillary got 2 less. On the third day, it turned out that Trump got 6 extra ones. So Trump, on aggregate, he ended up 5 votes ahead. So the recount only said that Trump actually won 5 more votes. You see, there's no point doing recounts unless the difference is less than 100 between the two sides. They did one in Austria recently because it was so close, and it was so close, and also there was some evidence that there was some fiddling going on. And they've done another election now, although I think there's some fiddling going on in that as well. There's no point doing recounts unless you get a really, you know, wafer thin difference. Doffler. It is Doffler, isn't it? Alright. Always try to stop the globalists. Absolutely, Doffler. It's the Illuminati, New World Order people. Always try to stop them. Oh, excuse me. Oh, yeah. That's not too, is it this making me tired, this wine? I don't know. Excuse me. I got a feeling that's not going to be the only comment Doffler makes, because Doffler, or Dofler, is Doffler, I think. God, I can't remember now. He likes to make quite a few different comments. So, Doffler, this is on reply to comments 4. Hi Ben, I'm glad to see that you have gone MGTOW. Now, MGTOW stands for MGTOW, men going their own way. It's actually a movement of men who've decided to become celibate and single, and it's a positive decision they've made to become celibate and single. It's quite amusing because feminists hate the MGTOWs. I mean, they just call them all kinds of names. Whereas, you know, if a woman makes that decision, oh, I don't need a man in my life. I'm a strong, independent woman, and I can look after myself and stuff. Then the feminists are cheering her on. See, that's just one example of the double standards of feminism. But okay, first, I'm not a MGTOW. All right, I'm not a MGTOW. Just because I split up from my girlfriend doesn't mean I don't want another girlfriend. I don't want one at the moment, but I mean, it could be, a time might come when I will look for another girlfriend. Or, to be honest, I just wait and see if it happens. Basically, that's my motto now. I mean, I met Sue actually when I made that decision not to date anymore, and just to say, well, I'm happy being single. I'll just stay single, and only get involved in a relationship if one comes my way. And then I met Sue. So, Dofler, I'm not a MGTOW, okay? I'm not a MGTOW. MGTOWs, I think, are a bit, I don't know, they sound a bit whiny to me, a bit like, oh dear, women are all bitches, I hate women, I want women out of my life, I can't stand it anymore, you know. There's something a little bit misogynistic about being a MGTOW, and I mean really misogynistic, not just someone who disagrees with feminism. And it's a bit, there's a self-pity element, I think, to MGTOWism as well, so I don't want anything to do with that. Dioffler, well done on another great video, he says on the last reply to comments video. Thanks, Doffler. Hospital porters, pride and dignity, stop the New World Order, he says. Yeah, that's the spirit, Doffler. Julian Carver says on the same video, hi Ben, and thanks for the reply. Always great work as always. I have photos of the strange lights. How can I send them to you? I think actually I did email Julian. I think we've actually communicated by email, but if not, I have an email address. It is BennyJ74 BennyJay74 the email is actually on the HPANWO TV blog. All right, just I printed that so you can actually get hold of it. But please do, yeah, get in touch. Get in touch and let me know how it goes. Oh God, did I put any? I put something. Hang on, I'm just gonna be paranoid again. One sec. Doffler, where's Doffler? I want to make sure that I left something for Doffler. I just there was yeah that's yeah, I think I did. Yeah, where's Doffler? I'll put another one on there just in case. But I think I sent one to Edwardian Lady and these other guys. So I'm going to do the same again. Here we go. Right, okay. Oh, where are we? Right. Oh, some people are already starting to... People are actually already starting to reply. So I'm getting replies out already based on just putting little notices in there. So Julian Carver, thanks very much for that. Pamface. This is on a video. I haven't had a comment on this one for a long time actually. Ben Emlyn-Jones is innocent. It's one I put up in July last year when I was getting all that copyright trouble. Do you remember that? That was pathetic. Love you, Ben. Saw you on bases on the BBC. Thought I'd mention the dirty, great, big, useless spiral staircase in the newsroom. Oh right, yeah. Is that? Oh, I did think about the BBC, didn't I? The Basis Project. Yeah. Thanks, Pamface. I haven't noticed that, but I'll check that out. I mean, it's probably there. Is it there for decoration, or does it lead down to the cellar where they keep the children? I don't know, in chains. Who knows? But thanks for your comment, Pamface. Right, Mike Humphries on UFO Disclosure WikiLeaks says, John Molester. John Molester. Oh yeah, I did bring up John Podesta during that, and I did say, well, you know, is this, we can't, you can't just say, we can't worry about how it harms the advocacy process if this stuff about Pizzagate is true. I mean, that is a problem. If these accusations have been made and there's evidence that they're real, then unfortunately, you know, it is a real fact that this is happening. Sagan Hill again says, Ben, here we are. Yes, Ben, I think you're in for a huge disappointment. Well, Sagan, seeing as we've just got, we've got Christmas, and then there's one more week of 2016 left. Probably there will be. However, on the last UFO disclosure video I made, what about Trump? I did bring this up. I brought up what Steve Basset said about a possible disclosure before the 6th of January. So I'll be interested. Did you watch that video? I'll be interested, if you haven't watched it already, I'd be interested to hear what you say about it. I really would be. Now then. Wild Witch's Ramblings. Oh, this is Halloween and Ouija. Yeah, Wild Witch. This is the Wild Witch. A great YouTuber. Check her out. Yeah. And she says, what a brilliant package on the gift that Sophie the Pork's Poet gave me. Wild Witch is into gothic stuff, and she has like a channel where she does all kinds of, she just basically comments on all kinds of things. Very, very interesting lady indeed. And Helen Duncan, Wartime Psychic Jailed. That's my latest full-length Helen Duncan video. I've got another one. I've done another one since, as you know, if you've commented. This is a wonderful documentary. Your passion for justice for Helen really comes through. I have no doubt she appreciates this very much, and it's helped you with making this. Thank you, Ghostly Eddie. Ghostly Eddie said that. In fact, much appreciated. And according to Maggie Hahn, her granddaughter, Helen has actually been watching over me, which is really, really nice to know. There's another Helen Duncan event actually coming up in the new year, so I want to go to that. Right, now this is a new video uploaded called Ben Emlyn-Jones Live at ASAP Seriously Suspicious. Right, which I misspelled, and so I have to correct it. Bloody fool that I am. Oh, God. Here we go. Let me just correct the spelling. It's at, not as. Can't even bloody spell. I know I'm an ex-hospital porter, but seriously. Anyway, let me go back and just do that again. Right. Have you heard about the UFO sighting over Turkey? This is from a commenter called Tamenga88, who I think I do recognise that name. I have actually, yes. There was a large number of objects seen over several different areas, and it seems like a bit similar to the Phoenix Light. It was very, very interesting. Thanks for letting me know about that. You can, if you want to put that on, you can put comments on any video you feel is most relevant to the subject matter you want to talk about. You don't just have to put your comments on my most recent video, because I do, as I say, get an email notifications of comments. Okay, so it helps actually if you can put one on which is closer to the topic which you want to talk about. Right, US presidential election 2016, and this is from Tiz Shine Palmer. Oh my goodness. Tiz Shine Palmer is somebody I've known for a very long time, and I have a rather, I think it's, let's say, unstable relationship with this person. I was going to say she, I think it's a he actually. And she or he says, they will get rid of him after 18 months and it will be the Republican establishment. Well, that's possible. Anyway, she's deleted the video anyway. So she's deleted the comment, so I can't actually reply to her, but that's what she's saying. Beetlejuice says, hello again, Beetlejuice. Ben Emlyn-Jones live at ASAP Seriously Suspicious. ASAP Seriously Suspicious. This is, I should say, is a video I did, which is I went to a conference and I did a really good lecture, but it wasn't filmed, so I decided to do my own film version of it. You look like Zordon from the Power Rangers at the beginning of this video, Ben. Lol. I always did like the Helen Duncan videos, Ben. It just shows how badly whistleblowers get treated by the government by our government, even when they do it without the intention. There was other ways of dealing with these situations. They could have even used her skill. Well, it's that's interesting. That's an interesting kind of suggestion, because I always said that if she'd been on the other side, like if she'd been in Germany, the Nazis would have used her, like they did Sylvia Ortiz, who was a medium. So, in a sense, that the country was the war effort of the British war effort, the Allied war effort, was put at a disadvantage because of their rather less accepting attitude to psychic mediums. Kidney Crusher says, press mute when you hack. Shit, dude. I think he means like because when I was coughing. All right, I know we've been through the bloody coughing. I know Patterson Gimlin isn't dead, but Bob Patterson's not dead. All right, well look, I know we're going over old material here. I'm sorry I was coughing during that video. I'm not coughing now. Okay, that's all I can say, and I know I didn't control it very well. Right, the alien interview. Oh right, this is Victor Nevada, who was actually there at the time. He actually came to the event, and he was actually in the audience with me. Yeah, and Colin Wolford did as well. That's Blue Wool. He did as well. Brilliant work, Ben. It was an enjoyable conference. I can't believe it took place in my hometown. Yeah, Victor actually lives in East London, near Lewisham, so he actually got the chance to come along. Right. Mike Jones said on the last reply to comments video. What's he said? And he's a comment which he's now deleted, or is it pending approval? Let's have a look. No, he's deleted it. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Anyway, he says, "Hi Ben, have you seen or heard anything on Charlie Veitch? Not seen him for about 1.5 years since we heard he was in France. He always spoke very highly of you and introduced us to your channel." Oh, thanks. That's nice. Hi, Mike. I didn't know Charlie had done that. That's very nice of him. I mean, I did stick up for Charlie actually when he was getting all this abuse. But anyway, Mike, I've not heard a single peep out of him. He's not uploaded to his channel. He's not posted anything. He just seems to have disappeared off the scene. And I don't know why that is. And I think it's a shame, because I actually did enjoy his videos. I enjoyed his material, even though I disagreed with him. I mean, on other, not just on 9/11, not just 9/11, but other things as well. I disagreed with him on. But I enjoyed his input. I really did. Thanks for that, Mike. Grumpskull says on Ben Emlyn-Jones live at ASAP Seriously Suspicious, have you heard it was a hoax that started on Facebook? Oh, I think he means that. Yeah, I think he means that he's deleted a comment. I think he means the UFO sightings in Turkey. Yeah, I did. Several people are a bit dubious about it, and it did come from Secure Team 10, or was it Third Phase of the Moon? Either way, those guys do tend to sort of like upload first and think later on several different subjects. Anyway, Gary Robertson says on the same video, great video as always, Ben. Keep up the good work, mate. Thanks, Gary. Glad you liked it. Right. Edwardian Lady. Hi, Edwardian Lady again. On the same video. Really interesting video. Thanks, Ben. Oh, you're welcome, Edwardian Lady. The Bill 9999. Hi, Bill. He's back. This is on ASAP Seriously Suspicious again. Hi Ben, I haven't seen this film yet, but Helen Duncan name appears in our local paper today saying they're going to pardon her. Yes, right, Bill. I actually bring this up in the video. Alright, so watch the video and I talk about it. There is now an opportunity to pardon her, which I really hope works. I really do. Caroline S says on the same video, well thought out, informative as well as entertaining video, and would recommend anyone to watch. Well done, Ben, and thank you. Thank you, Caroline, or Carolyn. Thank you very much, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. And please do share it. Let other people know about it. I'd be very honoured if they would watch it as well, and they might enjoy it too. Right, St. Theo's Day 2016. Blimey, we're going back to the summer now, going back to June the 1st. Wormspleen says, I thought Wormspleen. I didn't have to put there another name, I think, but was it Wormspleen? What a name. Yeah, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. A quote by Eleanor Roosevelt. Thanks for that gem quote, Ben. Good vid, even if it's 5 months old. By the way, when you started singing, I thought you'd open that bottle of Plonk under your bed. Cheers. Now, the bottle of plonk under my bed is waiting for disclosure day. I told you. Yeah. I said, I'm not going to touch that, no matter how desperate I am for a drink, I'm not touching that till disclosure day. Now, this bottle of plonk is going to be a different matter, because I don't know, will I sing later? Let's see how much of this I have. I might sing for you, you never know. Right. New comment on President Trump. What about Pizzagate? Any video commentary? I know, Wormspleen, I haven't covered this, have I? I mean, there's several things I wanted to cover and I haven't. Like, I wanted to cover the Standing Rock business as well, and I should do. I did actually mention Pizzagate actually in the original UFO US presidential election video I did, but I haven't said enough about it. I know. Sometimes I feel like I'm spreading myself so thin I can't cover everything. There's so much needs to be done, and only one of me. I need to clone myself. And on President Trump again, Wormspleen says, Ben, when you get Steve Basset back on HPANWO radio, ask him what the fuck is up with his anomalous eye movements. Oh, blimey. Oh, right, yeah. Steve Basset, this is on Stone Hobbit 2's. Oh, right, yeah. This is, I think, I'm not sure this is photoshopped or what, but this is Stone Hobbit 2. Also comments on my videos. There's a video where Alfred Weber's interviewing Steve, and Steve does this with his eyes. He makes a strange thing with his eyes like that, and I don't know why that is. But he goes, his eyes sort of bulge and go. I don't know why that is. I think that might be photoshopped. But anyway, Wormspleen, thanks for the information. I'll check that out. And Parody Films, who designed my brilliant logo. Thanks, Parody Films. Loving your Winston Churchill impression. Yes, let me have a moment at your convenience of why the Witchcraft Act of 1735 was used in a modern court of law. Thanks, Parody Films. I'm not as good as some people when it comes to Churchill, but he was. Rumour has it he got some of his speeches were read by a BBC actor anyway, so we don't know if that was really his voice at all. Awesome, says Jamie Horn says on UFO Disclosure WikiLeaks 2016. Oh, thanks very much, Jamie. Much appreciated. And he says here, oh, Jamie, so kind of like a second of a two-part comment, so I'll just read out the first part seeing as it's in front of me. Respect my assessment of disclosure is, it began to happen around 2000 as conditioning, drip feed, then there'd be a lot of distortion, expected some juicy bits, but the big part maybe around 2020, then most of the population will be accepting. It takes time to undo debunking, perhaps mankind's biggest mistake. Keep up the research, see the shit through the weeds. Thanks, Jamie. I like that. I like that saying as well at the end, see the shit through the weeds. Now you're referring to several ideas that somehow, despite the fact we have a truth embargo, the powers that be have been putting symbolic messages out, as if to say they're always hinting at us that UFOs do exist. That's an interesting point. Robbie Graham has covered this more than I have, but it's a possibility. Yeah, it's definitely a possibility that they are putting out positive messages about UFOs. For what reason, I don't know. I mean, maybe there is a faction that's planning for disclosure, but personally, I think disclosure, if it's going to happen, is being thought of now because of this problem with this brilliant thing that's happened, which I think is the powers that be losing control. So I think disclosure, if it's going to happen, may be caused by that. And I hope it happens before 2020. I don't have to wait another bloody 3 years. Right, so thanks for that, Jamie. Right, President Trump and there's another video, and Debunk David Hume has said, thanks, Ben, keep up the good work, dear man. Thanks, David, or Debunk David Hume. David Hume was a Scottish philosopher who very famously did a deathbed MBA thing where he says, there's no afterlife, I'm going to die and that's it. So what's interesting, I did debunking David Hume. I'll check out his channel. Yeah, he's got right. Well, where should we go from here? Right. Oh right, oh I've got a comment on my video, Professor Brian Cox Hates You. That's the comedy video I did where I pretend to be Professor Brian Cox and I put on a wig and I go, that was Heidi's idea to SE111, and I'm glad I did that. And Edwardian Lady says, oh God, I've only just seen this, hilarious. Well, I'm glad I've introduced that video to somebody new, Edwardian Lady, and I'm glad you liked it. Thank you very much. Murdoch the Mystic says on UFO Disclosure 2016 WikiLeaks, so the big 2016 disclosure is some fat Brit can read newspapers. Fascinating. Some fat Brits. You talking about me? Oh, great. You didn't mention bald. You've got to say fat and bald. Remember, if you're insulting me, you've got to use both those features. Oh, very funny. Anyway, very original. You've got a serious point to make it. Right. On ASAP Seriously Suspicious, Doffler says, Hospital Port's prime dignity, stop the New World Order. Thanks very much, Doffler. Very well said. And he also says on the same video, this isn't a flattering video. Is it not? In what way? In what way, Doffler? In what way is it not flattering? Excuse me. I mean, I think it's just a video I did. Anyway, I don't understand. Doffler says, Bob Fleming, lol. I think he's joking about something, a mistake. Ian Fleming, it was. It may have been a joke there I made. UFO Disclosure WikiLeaks 2016. Bava Nietzsche says, that's a long one, this is a long comment here. WikiLeaks is out to lunch. UFOs are bullshit lies. Aliens who are not alien to the Earth. It is humans who are the aliens to the Earth. The human body was invented so that super consciousness which cannot be seen by the human eye can come from source to use human body to operate in this dimensional planet. This is the process of life in the universe. And he carries on, and it's what... Oh, what's this? Dude, go gag yourself to death and see if I'm telling the truth. Or get rid of the cough. Damn, you're disgusting. Oh, good grief, Barbara Nietzsche. Do you never get coughs? Are you one of these people who are immune? Shut up. And stop bloody beating. Stop flogging a dead horse. The cough's better, alright? So shut up, alright? Yeah, I had a cough. That cough went on for so long, I didn't have time to wait. I had to do the video, alright? Jesus. Right, Bigfoot in Britain. And someone says here, who is it? Someone called 420 Proto Man says, I do live in the Rocky Mountains of Alberta near Banff. I think Bigfoot used to live here, but only comes through to pick berries. I would think they stick to the north where there are less people. Where there were less people. 93 North Highway, Alberta has many mountain ranges that are less travelled by humans. Yeah, I mean, Bigfoot obviously is clearly, I believe if Bigfoot does exist, Bigfoot, wherever they live in whatever country, they clearly do actively avoid human contact. This is why it's so rare, why they tend to stick to places like the big forests of North America or Scotland, whereas Scotland, as I said before, has only 5 million people and it's 2/3 the size of England. England has like 60 odd million people. So they stick to unpopulated or areas with low population, and that's what they do. Right, Paul Armstrong has said. Paul Armstrong, oh my God, I'm in trouble now. Stand by, strap yourself in. This is going to be fun. Paul Armstrong says on nuclear fusion power, part 3 of 3. There's nothing wrong with Didcot. We can't all living under the dreaming spires, you know. Well, all right. Well, I don't live under the dreaming spires, mate. I live in Cowley. I'm a long way from the dreaming spires. But Didcot is a horrible place. That's all. It's somewhere I don't like. Okay, just that's all I was saying. Arak Pom. Hello. What does he want from me this time? This is on the Oxford Reptilian. That's not a reptilian. It's a house cat, a lousy house cat, but still a cat. Ben, do you still need all your clothes? Roaring Water Bay. Yes, I need all my clothes, Roaring Water Bay, especially this time of year. And if that's a bloody cat, all I can say, if that you look at my video, the Oxford Reptilian, okay? If that's a cat, I wouldn't just offer it a saucer of milk and try to stroke it. It is a bloody reptilian humanoid. It's 500 years old. No one knows where it comes from. Right, Victoria Paul says on UFO Disclosure 2016 WikiLeaks, of comments she's deleted. Okay. She says, thank you for presenting this video and for the opportunity to gather more information. We need to become fully informed and need to research before we can make our own belief decisions. Oh, a site called... I'll just check this hasn't been spammed. No, it hasn't. So I don't know why she's deleted it. You want to let me know about a website, Victoria? Go ahead, post it. I don't mind if you advertise websites and things like that in my comments box. That's absolutely fine. SK Question says on the same video, John Podesta is linked to Pizzagate. You ain't going to get anything from him. They don't travel through space because space is a vacuum. They travel through dimensions. They will tell you later it all started from the Big Bang. If it could give life to us, so we can give life to other beings across the galaxies. Yeah, I know about John. I've talked about John Podesta and his rather untrustworthy nature and the suspicious things concerning to him, which makes me say that to Steve. You know, this is a guy, the most important guy in disclosure. Well, you know, I've done a video about that actually, called UFO. I've done my new UFO Disclosure 2016 video, What About Trump, where I talk about this. And I agree that it's possible that some aliens are interdimensional. John Keel went into that. They don't travel from other planets, they come from other dimensions. So thank you for that. Arak Cpom says on Helen Duncan, the most dangerous psychic in the world. I won't bother. All right, hang on. I think it's been spammed. Hang on, I'll just unspam these. Oh, what's all this? Okay, let's try start again. Nope, he's deleted it. Oh no, here we are. Arak Cpom says, how was Helen Duncan dangerous? May I have your shoes? Roaring Water Bay. Well, hang on, let's try now. What's going on here? Right, my shoes, no, I need my shoes, I'm afraid, Roaring Water Bay. I forgot about that. If I've got some old ones, I'll give them to you, okay? And, well, I use the word dangerous in that sense, as if to say she was dangerous to the powers that be, because they regarded her as a security threat. That's what I mean by dangerous. And I've been told psychic is not the right word to use. She was a medium, I know, but I mean, I had to. The most dangerous medium in the world doesn't quite fit. Anyway, Tony Kenner says on Basis at the Barge 2014. I've been doing some part-time research for about 8 years now, and I'm not finding any evidence that points to alien life visiting Earth, apart from people saying things. Therefore, I'm concluding there are people who say things and not much else. Right. Well, thanks for the comment. I haven't had a comment on this video for a long time. It's an old video. Dates back to 2014. Obviously, I don't agree with you. I think there is plenty of evidence that points to alien life being on the Earth. And, well, I mean, by all means, we can have a discussion about this. But, I mean, obviously, I think there are people... It's more than people saying things. There is distinct documentary and physical evidence we're talking about here, which I have discussed in my other videos. So check those out, Tony. You might find something interesting there. Right, a new video, upcoming events. Doffler has said on the video, superpowers, here we come, hooray. Alright, what was that? Oh, that was, I think I made a little joke in there at some point. Yeah, so that was, yeah, what it was. Some of the things on upcoming events I've actually sorted out. There was, I just was advertising a few things to come, and some of those have sort of come to light since, so... including the secret thing I didn't want to tell you about. That was the Greenwich Skeptics in the pub. That was the video I made there about what's his name, Ash Price. I haven't seen a comment on that yet. Oh, I haven't actually uploaded it at this point in the list, chronological list. Doffler says, Ben, you look like David Icke. Lol. I look like David Icke? You've seen my disguise, haven't you? Doffler says, a great hangout, Ben, exciting. a Google Hangout, you can finally talk to your fans live. Okay. The Google Hangout, yeah, I'll be saying more about that later, but it didn't come about. It didn't work. I am hopefully going to do one. There's now I've sort of been looking into this, and there is actually now a new opportunity for doing a Google Hangout. So stay. What's the word? Stay alert. Stay sorted. And why is this happening now? Oh, come on. What's happened? Some of my comments have just disappeared. So I'm just going to refresh my browser. Hang on. Oh, that's it. Oh, come on. I'm just going to refresh this. So some of my comments just disappeared. I don't know why that is. Right. Why have my comments just disappeared? So I'm just going to stop the video a minute. Okay, sorry about that. I think I've got it sorted. Got a little technical problem with my email. For some reason, I've had to use the search function to pull up all the. I go to my inbox, and basically, it's almost like there's a filter blocking off anything older than about 5 days. I don't know why that is. I tried logging out and logging in again. It's still doing it. It's obviously it's a problem with Hotmail. So now I'm just going to use the search function for a while and see how I get on with that. Anyway, I think we are on Diophla. Yeah, we were talking about Diophla on the upcoming events video, talking about a Google Hangout, and I was just explaining how that could be done. So that's finished now. And then Diophla says, with Google Hangouts, you can answer all questions live without having to make a special effort. Well, that's another good advantage of it, Diophla. Yeah. I'll tell you more about the Google Hangout that's coming up at the end, because it may not be quite that kind of thing, not just for my first one. But there's a little surprise coming, you might like it. A new format, Ben, says Diophla. How refreshing. Well, thank you. You said this is Diophla again, in the same video. You said your quote at the end of your video this time, Ben. Yes, Hospital Porter's Pride and Dignity, stop the New World Order. Yeah, did I forget last time, Diophla? That's a real oversight on my part if I forgot to say Hospital Porter's Pride and Dignity, stop the New World Order. Wild Witch's Ramblings. Hi, Wild Witch. Wild Witch is spelled W-Y-L-D-W-Y-C-H, I should point out. Interesting series of events. Looking forward to it, she says. Oh, thank you, Wild Witch. I'll just put a little thing here which says, yeah, we are, yeah. Wild Witch, I actually subscribed to Wild Witch about 7 years ago when I first started on YouTube, and like she used to be really into well, actually, she still does a lot of conspiratorial, paranormal, UFO stuff. But then she sort of didn't upload for about 5 years. Now she started uploading again, and I suddenly started getting notifications from her, and I thought, who's this? I don't remember subscribing to this lady. But no, thanks, Wild Witch. Is it doing it? I'm just going to exit the search just to see if it's still playing up. Is it? Yep, it's still doing it. Oh no, hang on, what's happening here? Right, oh. I've exited the search, but it's still... Yeah, it seems to be working now, but it's... Oh, so many comments, I'm not sure I'm going to get through all these. But thanks, Wild Witch, I'm glad you like that. I'll have Wild Witch a notice. Yes, I have. Right, Dazastar. Now, Dazastar is a great skepticologist, along with Steve Trueblue and Winston Wu and a lot of other people like that. And he says, great again, Ben. And he says this on my Helen Duncan video, the ASAP Seriously Strange one I just uploaded. So thanks very much, Dazastar. I'm glad you liked it. I thought you might. I thought it'd be right up your street. So I'm glad you like that, mate. Good to hear from you again, by the way. I hope Steve's doing all right. Steve Trueblue, he's a good YouTuber, he is. Right, Michael Tennyson says, on UFO Disclosure 2016 WikiLeaks, so I'm going to have something. I'm talking about Max Spears. Max was taken out for getting too close. Fallen angels were involved. Many do not know or understand the truth or who the real mastermind is behind so much confusion in the world today. Wake up, evil has come down to earth and walks among us. Well, I know what you mean, Michael, and I have actually covered Max again on my new video about UFO disclosure 2016. And yeah, I think he did seem to predict that he might actually, someone might actually take him out, and he was concerned for his own safety when he died. He actually texted his mother just the day before saying, if anything happens to me, investigate. So yeah, good point. I do bring that up in the next video, so check that out. Right. Oh, I've had a new comment on the Scottish UFO and Paranormal Conference 2016. Right, here we go. Share Kindness, that's a nice name, that is, says, could the British Bigfoot be what the Brits knew as the Woodwose myths? Always begin with the truth. What is the Woodwose myths? I'll have to look those up. I don't know. I mean, but I'll look it up and just remind me that I asked. Remind me I said this, and I'll have a look at that. So thanks, Share Kindness. If any of you guys know, let me know in the comments box what the Woodwose myths are. T.H. Chen, UFO Disclosure, WikiLeaks. Republican controls most of these military sectors. Republicans, I think they mean. These groups are FBI, CIA, NSA, Military Defense, Homeland Security, Pentagon, and high military officials. They will continue requesting higher spending, $600 billion a year or more in military expense, regardless of how hard Democrats try to cut down the expense. Well, at the moment, T.H. Chen, I think it's the Democrats who are the establishment party. Since the rise of Trump, I think something's happened to the GOP. The GOP is now in a bit of a disarray. It seems like there are different factions within it who are trying to. Some are trying to pull it back into the fold of the mainstream, and others supporting Trump want to steam ahead with a complete kind of non-conformist revolution. Some of them are even more extreme than Trump. I mean, Trump himself, like I said, has watered down his message since the election. And I'm concerned, I mean, we won't know for a while yet, but it could be that Trump is actually going to betray the principles that he professed. I'm not sure, but we will find out. We will find out. But I wouldn't say that the Republicans actually control the various military-industrial complex things, because I mean, at the moment, it used to be both the Democrats and Republicans both did together, and now it seems the Democrats are now in charge of that, and Trump's going to have a lot of bother stopping them because they're not going to go quietly. Right, I've got a comment on the Occult Duran Duran Part 3 of 3. Now, this is a video I made ages ago. Yes, I made it back in 2012, and I had to delete two of the first one, the Part 1 and Part 2, for reasons I've discussed, which are a little bit, well, it's to do with hiding. Hiding I've made up now, we're friends again, so that's good. But this is from someone called Apollon Jason. I am now 45 years old, and I grew up with Duran Duran. I listened to them from the start in '84, and I'm a proud while they're connected in witchcraft. And I'm proud while they're connected in while W-I-L-E. Of course, Apollon, you should have been paying attention in schools. Get your spelling right, mate. They're connected in witchcraft. Satan give us a most good gift, music. Fuck Jesus Christ, hail Satan, God is dead. My goodness me, I can hear the lightning bolt starting now, just for reading out what you just said. Yeah, I mean, that was a bit incoherent, but I believe you're a Satanist. God is dead is a phrase from the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche, yet it's used by, I know, the Satanists say that, and they say things about Jesus and stuff like that. Well, obviously, I think maybe you support the idea of Satanism. I don't. Not that I'm a Christian either, but I do believe these images you talk about, this satanic imagery, does appear in their videos, obviously to your approval. And I think that is a concern of mine. Oh, he said something else now on the same video. I will kiss any bone of Mr. Aleister Crowley. Right. Well, I don't know if Aleister Crowley. I don't know where he's buried actually. Knowing me, knowing him, they probably didn't bury him at all. I'll kiss any bone of Mr. Aleister Crowley. He says here again, I'll kiss any bone of Mr. Aleister Crowley. He says the same thing 3 times. I think he's deleted the other comments, I think, that one. Is he still up there? Yeah, he's deleted them all, but he kept saying, I will kiss any bone of Mr. Aleister Crowley. Yeah. There's only one bone that Aleister Crowley liked people to kiss, I'll tell you. Especially nice young men like you. Oh, he's done it again. Oh. Right, the Psychic Con Man. This is a new video I uploaded. This is the one I talked about in my video upcoming events. Third Ear says, do you wear a Jeff Rents wig? East of the Rockies. This is Jeff Rents on Coast to Coast AM. Well, I think he's doing something else now. I think he's part of Alex Jones's network now. Rents, or was he on TFR? I can't remember. I know he used to do Coast to Coast. No, I don't wear a Jeff Rents wig. I couldn't. It'd be far too hot to wear a Jeff Rents wig. I mean, goodness, how's anyone cope with hair like that? I'll never know. Do you wear a? Oh right, this is Craig Smith. All right, Third Ear is Craig Smith. He's changed his name since he put that note. Since I got that notice. I know Craig Smith from Facebook. Oh no. Mike Jones. This is on the same video, the Psychic Con Man. And he's deleted it. And it says here, what a shame, Ben. With a title like that, we thought we would be watching you talk about Peter Paget. Oh right, yes. He's been watching Matthew Williams, The Truth Seeker 666. Peter Paget is a fraud. I got all the evidence here. I produced a 2-hour video explaining why Peter Paget is a fucking fraud. I have, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I haven't actually gone through Matthew Williams' stuff yet about that, but yeah, I thought very funny. Oh yeah. Oya 1100. Ah, Oya, hello. I've been on Oya's videos. I've met Oya and her husband. Then Oya says, always interesting, Ben. Thank you. If travelling the Thames could take you to Chelsea, you could get off there and get the overland train, Imperial Wharf to Shepherd's Bush. Only 4 stops, 15 minutes maximum. Oh God, I need a local guide when I'm in London, don't I, Oya? I mean, it is. I mean, it is a bit like being in another world if you're not from around there. Baconland says on Psychic Conman, interesting and informative. Thanks for the word up on Anthony Peake in your recent video. I'd like to personally thank you for introducing me to some very interesting stuff and individuals. Well, you're very, very welcome, Baconland, and thank you very much, because that's what I want to hear. I want to hear that anything I give you now has inspired you to find some other things and to look into other things. That's really good news. Great. That's really good of you. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Parody Films says, I know yawning is contagious, Ben. I'm sat here yawning my head off right now. Oh dear. Was it the video, Bardi? I hope it wasn't the quality of my video that caused you to feel that way. Oh. Unique Services says on the Psychic Conman, if you have not yet woken up to the world constructed to the naivety of citizens, then why are you so keen to peculate the abusers? What does peculate mean? I don't understand. Unique Services. Oh, keen to peculate the abusers? What? Sometimes just people are just so incoherent. I just can't get what they're talking about. Diego Velasquez, I think that's how you pronounce it, on the Psychic Conman. I agree with you that the skeptic movement is sinister and is actually against science and freedom of thought. It seeks to limit perceptual possibility, but you do yourself no favours in believing on little evidence that there is a giant ape living wild in Britain. Evidence is important, and without it, what judgment can we make? We should question skeptics and so-called truthers. Well, I do, Diego. I do question both sides. I make an effort to be as empirical as I possibly can. And you think I don't do myself any favours in believing that there is a giant ape living wild in Britain? You say it's on very little evidence. Well, actually, the evidence is quite considerable. I suggest you listen to watch my video, Bigfoot in Britain, especially the interview with Charmaine Fraser. There is distinct evidence for this. Right, Mike Jones again. Hello on the Psychic Conman says, and it's something he's deleted. Right. I wonder if you've read this, and it's a link to a magazine story. I don't know why he's deleted that. Jam Noise says on upcoming events. Jam Noise 72. Hey Jam Noise, how are ya? It's good to hear from you, and I'll put this on there. And she's talking about the. This is basically what Jam Noise was waiting for me to do the Google Hangout or to do the live stream, and I couldn't do it. I'll tell you more about that later. But she wanted to help me out here, so that didn't work out. But that is going to be sorted. I'll be telling you more about that at the end. Oh, good old Jam Noise, yeah. Oh, this is on right. This is my video. Apologies, no Hangout. This is right. This is why Jam Noise posted on that video. Yeah. She said, "Oh, no worries, Ben. I ended up doing my live stream through Google Plus in the end. I can't even remember how I did it now. But I will get it sorted. I will get it sorted anyway." Bacon Land says, "Were you trying to hang out on YouTube or other? I was trying to use a YouTube live stream system, which is, as I say in the video, it appears to me excessively complicated. I do wonder why, for example, you can't just record off the webcam, and they won't even let you upload videos recorded off the webcam now." She says, YT live stream is different to a Hangout. I'm sure it didn't work for me on the live stream, but I was able to do a Hangout on the Google Plus page. That's what I'm going to try and do, and I'll tell you more about that at the end. But I do have plans for a future Google Hangout. It should be fun. This is just a little interlude. I did a little interlude video called Apologies No Hangout, just to explain why the Google Hangout I was advertising wasn't there. And Jay Wee says, Jay Wee, what a name. There's an open source streaming app for Windows and Linux. Look for YouTube vids on how to set it up. Well, thank you very much. I've actually downloaded some free software, which I will look into working the live stream situation. But I'm going to do what Jam Noise says. I'm going to try and do it through Google Plus. That's my first step, I think. Beetlejuice 1. Hello again, Beetlejuice says, "Do you have to use the camera? I don't think you do." You don't actually, Beetlejuice, for Google Plus. You can just use your avatar. I mean, you'll just if you don't have the camera on you, your avatar will just appear there. Jamie also says, normally, here we go. Right. Yeah. Normally, you need the driver for the camera installed, and the passphrase key for the stream known as a stream key. Also try Google Chrome, then Firefox if that fails. Also close Skype because it conflicts with it apparently. Well, thanks very much, yeah. The driver for the camera is a plug and play. Now the stream thing, now yeah, you do need, once you set up the software, you set up this coding software, you need to log in again, and there's some kind of like you say, the script, you have to install the stream key thing. To me, it's something I can probably get my head around with enough effort, but I can't help feeling a little bit annoyed at YouTube for making it so complicated when well, according to people, I've been looking into Google Plus is so simple. And what's the difference between that and Google Plus, other than with Google Plus you have more than one person on the line? So I don't get it. I don't understand why YouTube have made it so complicated. YouTube generally are being less user friendly these days, many different ways. But thanks for the information. Chris Norris said on the same video, "I'm glad you had to cancel the live stream. I was having to choose between you and the Anthony Joshua fight. Oh, the agony of choice. Which one would have won out in the end, I wonder." Beetlejuice says again on the same video, "Well, that's all about what's said. I don't see many using cams for the same reason." As I would only get to see it after it's been uploaded to YouTube, but I'm always interested in what you have to say. Oh, thanks, Beetlejuice. I'll use a camera, but I mean, I'll just make sure I'm fully clothed and everything like that. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously it's something that's going out live. It's not something I'm recording. So I don't want anything embarrassing to happen in the way. Just, you know, little things that might happen which I won't be able to delete. 69 Phuket says, oh, about this is when I'm apologising for not having the live stream. No worries, mate. Life is getting more complicated, as they say. It's getting simpler. We need a scream room these days. Hospital ports, pride and dignity. Stop the New World Order. Yes. Ah! Very true. Oh, right. Yeah. 69 Phuket says, hey Beetle, this is a conversation between the two of them and Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice and 69 Phuket saying Ben has an ego too. I think the idea is talking head. Well, I don't know. I've become a bit self-conscious since I've had this beard. I don't know if you think it suits me. I'm only doing it for a bet. Oh, right, where are we? Right, we've come to another video now. President Trump, which I uploaded when I found out that Donald Trump was going to be the new US president. Tom Stargazer says, you can't go wrong with a sex on the beach cocktails. Can't you? I don't know exactly what you mean, to be honest. Going back to apologies, no hangout. Lee Cook says, YouTube is going tits up and hopefully folk will find alternatives to give a big FU to the corporate scum. Well, yeah, I agree, Lee. I think it is. It's if they become too bullshit and too obstructive, people will go somewhere else. And there are actually replacements coming out. There's Minds.com and VidMe.com. There's lots of other alternatives that are now becoming more popular. And unfortunately, YouTube they're losing business, and it's pretty much their own fault. I mean, they've done all kinds of things that are really stupid, demonetizing some videos, changing the search algorithms, and I guess there's the endless copyright issues that they will not help with. So I know what you mean. I mean, I just hope people vote with their feet and go somewhere else. I have accounts set up on other video sharing sites already. I haven't uploaded to them yet, but I'm standing by to. In case YouTube will eventually get so awful it will be no longer viable. And so I do have accounts ready on other sites. I'll let you know if that happens. Right, or someone has posted a comment on my last year's Happy Christmas video. I haven't done a Happy Christmas video this year. Oh. But it's nice that someone's posted a Happy Christmas message on last year's Christmas video for this Christmas. Bronto Max this is, and he or she says, I've come from the future to wish you a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too, Bronto Max. No, Dr. Jonathan Reed. Oh, blimey. Here we are. Dr. Jonathan Reed. What's he got to say for himself? Okay, right. I mean, I keep repeating the same debates over and over again on here. UFO watchdog showed a bogus retouching photo of Reed's gunshot wound and offered it up as bad Photoshop that Reed did. Has to be disinformation agents to discredit him. The past friends found to discredit him interestingly sounded like the same person while you read the quotes. I wonder why, and interestingly, they say all the same thing as if they were the same in the same room. They all said he had allergies and would never be around dogs. Studied the case. There's a dozen photos of Reed with his dog. What's the point? I mean, the point was, I think, that UFO Watchdog was saying that Reed didn't have a dog, and there's photos with his dog. But, I mean, I've been through this, Chris. I mean, I've been through the issues with UFO Watchdog. I've done... The first part of this video is a critique of the UFO Watchdog page. And it's a very old page. It's been up over... oh, God, how long has it been up now? 20... It's one of the oldest web pages on the net. I think it was put up around about 1998 or something. And that's not been updated. And whenever you say Jonathan Reed, they'll say, Jonathan Reed is a fake. I've got a web page here, I've got a website you've never seen before, and it reveals everything. And I said, is it called UFO Watchdog? How did you know? How? You found it as well? And I said, everybody found it years ago. It's been up for a long time. Also, please do watch Dan McAvoy's comments on Dr. Jonathan Reed, because it's another side to this story, okay? Excuse me. Right. Diophla says on Interlude, no apologies. Oh, interviewed Hangout, no. I had no idea hosting a Google Hangout could be so complicated. Poor Ben, mate. Yeah, it's, well, Jam Noise, I actually wrote to Jam Noise and she warned me it's going to be more complicated than you think it's going to be, she basically said. The Psychic Con Man, Jamie Fairman, says on that. Thanks, Ben. Another informative video. Keep up the good work, bud. Thanks, Jamie. Will do. Jam Noise 72 again. Yeah, talking about live stream being different from the Hangout. Yeah, that's it. Right. Oh, this is a Google Plus. Well, how come I don't know why it's on there? That's why. What's on? So right. The Psychic Conman. Sorry, I was the settings on my video. Oh, this is the start of a very, very long conversation between Rex, Brian Ego, Dazastar, and yeah, those three basically have like a long debate about skepticism, which I don't have time to read about, but I had a little brief look. There's been many more posts since I last looked at it. It's gone on for 35 different posts. Yeah. So I won't go into that now, unfortunately. But thanks for your comment. I'll just say thank you for your. I'll put a little thing on here, just to say thank you for your comments, but all of you who commented on this. But Dazasar said everything I meant to say because he started commenting straight away, and Brian Ego said a few things as well, and it's ended up in a very interesting conversation. Thank you very much for the conversation, guys. UFO disclosure, WikiLeaks 2016. Didn't happen, says Jay Abbey. Well, yeah. Oh, they've added some more. They've edited. And Obama won't disclose shit. Besides, who would believe the fucker? He's the biggest liar in recorded fucking history. Yeah. Well, I'll put it slightly more in a more demure tone than that. But I agree with you. Basically, that's a good point. This is why I made a video about Trump by saying, well, maybe we should wait for Trump and see what Trump does. Forget Obama. Let's just see what Trump does. I'll say more about this maybe in the new video I'm going to upload soon, the new video I'm going to make about this. Gary Williams said on Helen Duncan, wartime psychic jailed. This is another one. Okay. Oh, I see. Oh, there's a long discussion here. Esculent has posted a long comment here. Oh, right, there we go. Esculent 1, this is someone I mentioned earlier. If she wasn't a hoax, then these so-called abilities were supernatural in origin and not natural. This being the case, we have to ask, what was her source? What was her purpose? As a studious Christian, I know there is indeed a supernatural source capable of such, which comes from a higher dimension than our own. In the first book of Samuel, 28 King Saul. So this is a very long comment, and there's quotes from the Bible here. Okay. Right. I'm sorry. I don't have time to read through this. I'm sorry, Esculent, but I appreciate your comment. Besides, Gary Williams actually replies to you. There's another long comment here, and Gary Williams does actually say, people who believe that the Bible is real, who believe in the existence of Satan, are so far gone that nothing will convince them they're deluded by religious nonsense. Well, Gary, I think that's overstating it, but I mean, I'm not religious. I don't believe the Bible is the Word of God. I think the Bible is an interesting book. It has stories that are interesting. I believe there's a consciousness to this universe that's convenient to call God. If that's the case, then the mainstream religions don't know anything about it. As for Satan, well, there are negative forces as well at work, as well as forces for good. And even though it may not literally be a guy with horns and a long tail and a pitchfork, this negative force exists. This negative spiritual force also exists. Right. Mac News in Bigfoot in Britain says, Bob Gimlin never said he hoaxed a film, and he's still alive, you twat. Bloody hell. Well, hold the front page, Mac. I got that wrong. I don't know how. My source was Paul Vella. Paul Vella said his source was Chris Packham, the TV presenter. Maybe it was the other guy, I don't know. But several people have actually corrected me on that, and it was actually a mistake I made. Brian Ego says on the psychic... Oh, this is the conversation between Brian Ego and several other people, and Dazastar and Rex. Right, WikiLeaks again. Mulvera Mitchell says, IT is greedy, deceitful, money-hungry power seekers... Oh, it is greedy, deceitful, money-hungry power seekers that ruin the human race. God did not mean for us to be conquered and enslaved. We, as the human race, have been doing this since the beginning of time. When will it ever stop? Or will it ever? That's a good question. Yeah. Well, hopefully soon. I mean, like I said in my videos I've made since then, I mean, I do think maybe, just maybe, we're in a position where the Illuminati is finally losing its grip. I do hope so, because people have been talking about it for so long, and maybe now it's actually happening. UFO Disclosure 2016 WikiLeaks. Utara Dit 2 says clickbait bullshit. Well, how do you work that out? How do you work that? How on earth did you? What made you think that? I'll just That's really unfair. Oh, sorry. I mean, clickbait, right? There's no adverts on there. I have no advertising on there at all. So why is all this stuff about clickbait? Oh, I don't know. I don't know why these people come out with stuff like this. I really don't. It's just pathetic. I don't know why they say things like this. Okay, right. Let me carry on. Anyway, let me just do a quick. I'll stop the video again. One sec. Okay, so like I said, there's no adverts on the video. So how can you call it clickbait? That's what I was saying. That's a bit stupid thing to say. And Ian Bennett, I haven't heard from him for a while. He does a lot of Google Hangouts. I should ask him how he does it, or maybe join one of his. But Ian Bennett, he keeps sending me invites to his Hangouts. I never go along. I should do, shouldn't I? I should do. Oh, but thanks, Ian. Thanks very much. Dazastar. Oh, right. This is says I'm not misrepresenting skeptics, and he goes on to explain. I mean, it's an interesting conversation there. Like I said, it follows. Go to the just go to the comment section of the Psychic Conman, and you can follow what these guys are saying. It's very, very interesting. Now, new video just uploaded called "What Does Fermernism Mean?" by Doffler. Right, by me, and yeah, it's my video. What does Fermernism mean? This is my sort of reply to Slaxer video, and Doffler has actually posted on there. Did you ever have to wheel dead bodies around the hospital, Ben? I was talking about when I was a porter at the hospital. Did I have to wheel dead bodies around? Yes, I did. So one of our duties was to get rid of the corpses when they die. Brian Egg. Oh, right, this is more stuff from the Psychic Conman. Doffler says on Fermernism, or what does Fermernism mean? Hospital people, terse, conman, Brighton dignity. Stop the New World Order. Oh, alright. Okay, I'm not going to go through the various... I don't have time to read out the comments on that comment section, I'm afraid, but Dazastar does a good job standing up to the skeptics. 69 Phuket says on what does Fermernism mean. I'll have to watch this one later, but you could never be a Slaxer. We're born of experience. You may have anecdotes, but I'll shut up and watch it later. No, I know what you mean there. I don't think I could be a Slaxer. I don't have the right hair or something like that, and well, I'm probably I've got a different temperament to Slaxer. But okay, forget. I hope you like this. I hope you like the video when it comes out. When you decide to watch it. Right, Bronto Max says on what does Fermernism mean? Everything is hopeless, isn't it? Oh dear, is it Max? I'm not sure. Right. And Adam, fantastical book reader, welcome back. Good to hear from you again. On what the fuck does Fermerni Sir mean? He says, so much love and humility. I know I say this nearly all the time, however, I just like saying it because you deserve it. You're a good man, Ben, and it's why I love you. In a no homo way. Peace. Thank you, Adam, and you too. Mwah. In a non-gay way, of course. If you can blow someone, another man, a kiss in a non-gay way, I just did that to you. But I'm glad you like that, Adam. And welcome back. It's good to hear from you again. I haven't heard from you for a while. Adam, fantastical book reader, says on the Psychic Conman, thought-provoking. Oh, thank you very much. I'm glad you liked it, Adam. Glad you liked it. And Adam, fantastical book reader, says on what does Fermerni Sir mean again. And I live with 3 rather strange Sudanese guys. We're very close. I swear you crack me up. Well, yeah, I mean, I do live with these guys, and they're nice chaps. Even though they have strange habits, like they make a mess in the kitchen and they eat strange food, but they're still nice guys. And despite being devout Muslims, they drink like bloody fish. Alright, here we go. One of them's moving out actually soon. Oya says on what does Fermerni Sir mean? Thank you, Ben, for such a candid insight into part of your life. Sorry you went through such an experience. To truly get over it requires forgiveness, and that is definitely in you, and you are already strong. So this is something you can do. Oh, thanks, Oya. Yeah, obviously I still... This is a subject. Some of the subjects I brought up in this film were ones that I've not mentioned before ever, and it was not easy to do. And I don't think I communicated it terribly well, but I was holding back. You know? I was sort of like a bit dubious, a bit holding back because of the nature of what I was talking about. But yeah, I mean, obviously, these things still haunt me. Which if you watch the film, you'll know what I'm talking about. And it still has an effect on my life today. So yeah, I mean, to forgive. I mean, it's different. I can't forget what happened, and my mum's dead now, so it's a bit difficult to know what to do. But maybe I just need to learn to integrate it, to live with it. Making that video will have helped, I'm sure. On the same video, Adam, fantastical book reader, says, just suppose a UFO appeared. I wish that happened. Oh, Adam, that'd be great. That would be a real HPANWO TV exclusive, wouldn't it? Yes. What if Slaxer, have you ever seen a UFO? Thanks for sharing this video. You're welcome, Adam. Going more on the Psychic Conman again. Dazastar and Brian Ego and Rex are at it. Right, Gary Williams said, is this this is Helen Duncan again. Okay. This is Gary Williams on Helen Duncan, wartime psychic jailed. This is my feature film, not the most dangerous psychic. Oh yeah, this is the 2015 one. The one it was the most dangerous psychic in the world was the feature film where I visit the locations. Gary says, as psychically gifted as Helen Duncan was, she was both poor and uneducated. She did not even control her own materialisation seances. The spiritual churches did, and they collected most of the money. That was her first blunder. I compare her to Judy Garland, who allowed a business manager to manage her business. He took most of the money, and she was broke at the end of her life. For reasons not understood, a lot of great mediums were very uneducated. I loved this video. The research you must have done was amazing. Here are 2 other materialisation mediums of the past for you to investigate. Alec Harris from Wales, who moved to South Africa. He produced materialisations in strong red light. So did Minnie Harrison. But just like the UFO situation, there's never going to be any disclosure about the truth of mediumship and life after death. The churches will block it if they have too much to lose. Excellent comment, Gary. Thank you. And I'm glad you enjoyed the video, and I'm glad you appreciate it, and what the work I put into it. And that's a good point. I mean, again, the skeptics say, oh, they're just in it for the money, but how much money is actually in it? Judy Garland is a bit of a real sad character, actually. She is best known to me for playing Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, the 1939 Technicolor one, with the lion and the scarecrow and all that. And she was only, I think, 17 in that video, in that film when she made that. But she already had a drink problem, and she's a real sad character. She had some unhappy marriages and took a lot and drunk a lot. Apparently, in some of the scenes in The Wizard of Oz, you can apparently she's drunk in some of them, and if you know what. Apparently, some people say they can tell she's drunk in some of the scenes. I haven't noticed that myself. But she was in another film called State Fair, where she was like a real. This was a few years later. I think this was like late 1940s, and she's only like about 27, but she looks about 50. She's really looking terrible, and I feel sorry for the poor girl. I've heard of Minnie Harrison. I've not heard of Alec Harris from Wales. But Minnie Harrison is a materialisation medium I've heard of. But thanks very much. And I know what you mean about the churches. And the churches, not just the churches, but the government. I think there's a secular reason for the suppression of the truth about life after death. And I touch on it in this film, but I think the whole subject will need a complete movie. I think in the end. Grumpskull, hello Grumpskull, welcome back. Oh yeah, this is. Yeah, I'm trying to be like Slaxer, and Grumpskull says, "You need to whinge more and talk about your willy." Very true. I can never be a Slaxer because I can't do it as well as he does. And Slaxer says underneath, "Oi, I've got a patent on that language, sunshine." That's true. Edwardian Lady says, it's very perceptive. Edwardian Lady says that feminism looks like feminism. Well, since actually talking to Slaxer about this, I found out that that's exactly what it was. So I found out what feminism means. Well, so Slaxer was just... the content of the video actually gave it away because he was talking about feminism. Like he does, he talks about feminism a lot. And he mentioned it in there. Yeah, what's this? Did you know that? No, I didn't know, actually. I got the first inkling when you said that, Edwardian Lady. I saw your comment a couple of weeks ago. A few days ago. And then I went to Slaxers and I said, "Oh, it means feminism, doesn't it?" And he said, "Yes." So I made a little red dwarf joke as a comment after that. It takes me a while, but I get there in the end. Grumpskull says on this video... Oh, we go. On the same video for Feminism. Ben, I didn't elaborate on Slaxer's video with a specific subject of contagious mental illness, but I did think about it later. One thing is the labels cluster B personalities, histrionic, narcissism, borderline, antisocial, psychopathy. It goes on. They're very much related. Being in an environment with these types of people, whether at home, work or socially, can have a detrimental influence. And the influence can rub off and have negative effects on one's own psychology. After all, we tend to be made up of those who are around a degree. I've seen parents who obviously have some issues that affect their children and end up having difficulties later in life. People around them can be affected too. I know that I myself have had to distance from people who were a large part of my life as considered close friends. Actually, I mean, Slaxer did say I got him wrong on this, and so he's... Yeah, I spot new ones straight away and can anticipate their game, but alas, they still tend to find something in my nature they see as vulnerability for their wicked ways. Yeah, that's true. I feel it's true for me as well. But I mean, I'm going to have to perhaps make another video when Slaxer has made another video about this, because I didn't quite understand him, and I got him wrong in the whole thing. And Grumpskull says here, no lizards, just humans. Highly successful individuals can get high on narcissistic supply. They crave the endorphins that are released into the brain like a drug of dependence. They are physically addicted to being callous assholes, and they become aged and decrepit. And as they become aged and decrepit, as I said in the video, I commented on this issue about whether there is a fundamental difference on a biological level between the Illuminati and the rest of the humanity. Slaxer thinks there's not. Grumskull also thinks there is not, but I disagree. I think there is, and I explain why. I explain in the video that there's a distinct reason for thinking that. Oh. Justin Sherwood says on Fermerny Sim, that was well better than listening to Slax's boring midlife crisis shit. Thanks, Ben. I like listening to Slax's videos. I think they're great. Oh come on! I mean, he's really he's very perceptive about all his problems. And Slaxer writes underneath cock. Oh. Edwardian lady says on what's Fermerny Sim mean. Sounds like you had a rotten time. Must have been hard to deal with coming from your mum. Yeah, it was, and I sometimes regretted. For a while, I regretted actually making that video. I was considering taking it down actually, but I think I'm glad I did that. And I'll probably say more in another video, perhaps when I'm in a more coherent manner about exactly what this subject was about, what it was like to have this attack on my family, which my mum got involved with. Helen Tucker says on what does Fermerny Sim mean. I beaded a bracelet while listening. Childhood can sure be a treacherous time. I have empathy with you on that score. How fascinating the Isabel woman's career too. Would be nice to listen to your talk. Happy dog walking. Was nice to listen to your talk. Happy dog walking. Thanks, Helen. Yeah, it's thank you very much. I appreciate your support, and I'm glad you understand what I'm like. And Isabel, well, that's yeah. I mean, I can't put that down to coincidence. It's just too weird, as I explained in the video. Slaxer says on what does Fermerny Sim mean. Good video. You got me 100% wrong about the knock-on effects of sociopathy, etc. But I will do my best to explain what I meant in a video soon. Thanks, mate. Thought-provoking and brave vid. Well, thanks, Slaxer, and thanks for commenting. It's good. It's good we're on speaking terms again. It really is. As I explained in there, I didn't want to. I just got fed up with falling out with Slaxer all the time. It just wasn't over nothing. You know what I mean? I explained in the video. Johnny Parker says, hey man, I just wanted to say with the Richard D. Hall thing, he was actually saying he thinks the CIA sent actors like that, Arizona Wilder, and planted info for him to be discredited, particularly the shape-shifting part, due to the fact he was doing so much good work exposing the fake bombs and shootings, bloodline families, etc. They were both saying that they think there's probably reptilian species out there. I thought they were both really fair about the whole subject, and I'd love to see them do another episode just covering Ike. I've always found Ike pretty spot on with a lot of things, but yeah, anyone can be influenced, who knows? Well, Johnny, I wrote a critique, as I explained in the video, I wrote a critique of Richard D. Hall's interview with Andrew Johnson about David Icke, and I do disagree with them. I think it's more to it than meets the eye, and I mean, Arizona Wilder it turned out to be a rather distrustworthy character, and she's now gone from David's life, but I still think there's more to it than meets the eye. There really is not, and it's a very, very long, complicated subject. I think Richard and Andrew didn't give the subject the seriousness it deserves, the depth it deserves, and their sources tend to be quite old ones, which have now been just forgotten about, even by David. Johnny Parker also says, sorry to hear the stuff with your mum. Hope it hasn't affected your inner journey. Thanks, Johnny. Thank you. It hasn't. Well, it's. Yeah, and she says, as if the founder of Tavistock was involved with you. Very strange. Yes, it was. Yeah, it's been difficult, but there you are. I'm glad I told you guys about it. And Rex says on the same video, thank you for opening up about your childhood. I relate to your personal experiences with Isabel during my teens, and through clever mind manipulation, my stepmom made me feel worthless and nobody. Yeah. It's not easy to deal with, Rex, is it? And Rex has deleted that comment. Okay. Maybe, yeah. It's. I'm sorry you had that same experience, Rex. I really am. Sorry if you deleted that comment for privacy and I've just read it out, then I apologise. I really do. What's this? Oh no, he hasn't deleted it. No, he hasn't deleted it. Over time you begin to believe. I am now 40 and have literally no confidence. I am 40 now and I have literally have no confidence. Yeah, over time you begin to believe it, what your mum said, that you were a worthless human being. These people rob you of your self-worth. You should try and focus on the good memories you had with your mum. By your account, your mum was at a vulnerable time in her life. My argument with Slackster was taken the wrong way, and perhaps I didn't understand both sides. I've accepted my mental issues. Someone once said a mental illness is like a car accident. It's tragic, traumatic, and the people in the streets just stare helpless to do anything about it. What a good metaphor, yes, it is. What a good simile. I know what you mean. Nicholas Copper said on What Does Vermurnisserm Mean? Hi Ben. Oh, this is a long comment. I've recently started watching your videos. First I saw you on Rich Planet TV. You have a good English view on occult subjects which I found easier to listen to than the American offerings. It's funny, someone said you sounded posh. Well, you have a working class Oxford accent. I came originally from North Birmingham and the accents are very localised in the Midlands. The area around Chipping Norton going on to Warwick Stratford is very ancient and to me had bad vibes. There was a castle there, wasn't it? Warwick Castle, which is my family originates from there. The countryside is beautiful, but it feels evil. That was in the late 80s when I lived there. The M40 brought newcomers to South Warwickshire and North Oxfordshire, where previously it had been very isolated. Oxfordshire has changed a lot since the 80s and 90s. Maybe do a video on the Rollright Stones and the Enston. Yeah. As a side, I texted Max Spears in May and he was very obliging to me. I asked him how he was doing in Canterbury and he texted back to say he was brilliant and asked me how I was. He was very gentle and polite and not a scheming actor as some people have said. Did you find him a kind person to everyone who wanted to speak to him, as you had personal contact with him? As he could just have ignored me, as I was someone who discovered his vids in March of this year, Nick. So Nick, thanks for that comment. As far as the Rollright Stones and that go, I've done an interview with Maria Wheatley on HPANWO Radio you might be interested in, which talks about things like that. But I didn't realise that there was a sort of dark energy in that part of the country, from Chipping Norton to Warwick and Stratford-on-Avon. I take it you mean. I hadn't noticed that. But as for Max Spears, yeah, I mean, I found him. I didn't get to know him that well, but I met him at the conferences, and I had to MC. I emceed a conference where he spoke. I found him to be pleasant, polite, but also frightened and slightly withdrawn. I think like he was scared. Right. Dazastar is talking on the on the Psychic Conman video again. I'll just delete those. It's a long 35 post commentary and it may still be going on, I don't know. I like listening to other people talking now. Okay, just blimey. They really had to hammer and tongs, these guys. The skeptic believer debates are always entertaining. I've been in a few myself, I tell you. Right, Joe Smith says, could you possibly rattle and shake the camera a bit more? Jonathan Reed's voice is still audible. Oh, you're being sarcastic, aren't you? You mean you have? What you mean is you're annoyed by the noise that the camera tripod makes. And yes, other people have said that, and I have apologised for it. Yeah, this tripod is like, it's the one I'm using now. Actually, I'm going to have to get another one. But it's fun. I tried to oil it and it hasn't worked. Grumskull. This is a first video now. UFO disclosure 2016. What about Trump? And Grumskull says, if alien spacecraft are disclosed, Mr. Trump will want his name on the side of them. I'm sure he's got a patent on the free energy. I know. Yeah. Tinfoil Hat Lady. Hello, Tinfoil Hat Lady. Do check out her channel. That's great to hear from her. I've done a HPANWO Radio interview with her too. So hi Tinfoil. It's great. She's a lady from Canada who has done some fantastic YouTube work. She's a great content creator. Very into on our level on this. Very on the same level as me. She says here, I could be wrong, but in my humble opinion, Max was a victim of the satanic global Illumis. R.I.P. Now you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. He was precisely that. So thanks for the comment, Tinfoil Hat Lady. Diophla, hospital reports Pride and Sea. Stop the New World Order. I just put a little note just to say I've spotted Diophla on this particular video, or Doffler. The young woman you interviewed was very good looking. You scored there, Ben. God. He's talking about Sandra DeRoy. She's good looking, yeah. I've met her a couple of times, and she's been on the radio shows. I said, yeah, we get on well actually, Sandra and I, but it's purely platonic. Actually, you know, I split up from Sue just 2 months ago. A woman I was in a relationship with, a happy, loving relationship with for 8 years, and right now the last thing I need is matchmaking. I know you don't mean any harm, but I'm not up to having a girlfriend right now. I'm up to having friends. I need friends and people around me, like the people at the Basset Project, people like Sandra and others. They're great friends, and these people have been very instrumental in my healing process after splitting up from Sue. Definitely. Doffler says, have you interviewed Alfred Lambermont Weber? No, I haven't. I've written to him and asked him, but he's an interesting chap. He's a nice guy, controversial. A controversial figure in this little community of ours, no, yeah, it's I'll try and get hold of him. I will try and get hold of him. Lee Cook says on Trump again, on the Trump video. I watched the documentary. He's put two. I'll deal with both these comments together. I watched the documentary Field of Vision, The Disclosure President, and you're right, it was very touching indeed. On one hand, I can't help but admire old Bertie Basset due to his tenacity, but on the other hand, I can't help thinking he's barking up the wrong tree. Good luck to him either way. Besides which, I reckon we wouldn't have had the luxury of disclosure, especially if Hillary had won the election. We'd be too busy fighting the Russians and China. Maybe that was the idea. Maybe that's why they wanted her in charge. Some of us may still have to, the way things are going, and not that I would join in. I'd rather be slung in jail than fight for the bloodthirsty bastards in power. Very good point, Lee. If there is a draft, we're going to have to refuse it. We're going to have to become conscientious objectors. That means overcoming a massive mental hurdle, and it's to do with general masculinity, really. The idea of fighting in a war is always being a warrior. Is always brave and strong and testicular generally, whereas to refuse to fight in a war is always cowardly and treacherous. No matter what the contexts, no matter what the situation. It could be any army. You could be ordered to fight for the I don't know, Bullbuggers Alliance or something, and you know, or little kitten squashing a militia, and they'll say, right, well, am I going to be drafted or not? Oh my God, I've been drafted. I'm going to have to go. Whereas at no point will you say, well, no, I'm not going to. I'm going to refuse. But that's not very brave. You're not joining the kitty squashing regiment. You coward. You know, it's like that, and so that means we got to get over that mental hurdle. And people, if it comes to another war, we've got to go along with what Gandhi said. You know, the young men who refuse military service are the pioneers of a warless world. That's one. There's several other quotes about that, but basically, it's not cowardly and treacherous to refuse to fight in a war. I mean, unless if someone's directly attacking your country, then you have to, you know, you have a moral duty, I think, to actually protect your family, protect yourself, protect your home, with force if necessary. But since when has any of the wars of the 21st century been about that? They've been about going to some godforsaken country, blowing the shit out of it, so that the oil companies can build a pipeline across it. Why is it cowardly to refuse to take part in that? Why is it brave and manly to do something like that? Albeit just as a foot soldier. So Lee Cook has brought up an absolutely vital point here, and he has another comment here. I thought I would ask another question while I'm at it. What do you think of all these destruction porn videos, as I call them, on YouTube, where people take a valuable sort of item, like an iPhone, and throw them off a multi-story car park or submerge them in boiling water or something? Is it a reflection of humanity's complete and utter disrespect for the planet we live on? It's crazy when you consider some of these channels receive 6 million plus views per video. What the hell's going on? So what does it say about us, brother? It gives me the bloody heebie-jeebies. I have seen some of these, and I don't understand them. I don't understand the... Firstly, I don't understand how anyone can have so much money they can afford to actually, you know, break up valuable pieces of electronic equipment and things like that for the sake of some damn video. You know, I've got a computer, I've got my camera here. I wouldn't smash them up for the fun of it to make some stupid video. I need them. They're the tools of my trade. And I certainly don't. 6 million. It's rather like what Slaxer said, wasn't it? You know, I get fed up. I see some bloke eating his breakfast with a traffic cone on his top of his head, and that gets 1,000 million views. And me, I'm saying something really important, really deep, something I've really put my heart and soul into, and you know, I get 100. And I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what Lee means. I know what Slaxer means. I mean, it's pathetic. There's this YouTuber called Mo Vlogs, MOVLOGS. He's this young Asian chap who lives in Dubai. And the whole video is just him going around in his big fast car spending money. That's all it is. There's no point to it. And there's a few pathetic attempts at humour as he drives around Dubai in his car. And that video, that's the top. That has over. It had 1 billion views on one of his. It broke a YouTube record. He had 1 billion channel views or something like that. And I think to myself, it's the more pointless and banal you can be, the more successful you are in the media. And unfortunately, the YouTube's getting like. That's certainly true in the mainstream, isn't it? And it's getting like that here on YouTube. It takes real effort to carry on what you're doing. It really does. Carl Munford. I've heard that name before somewhere. It says on UFO Disclosure 2016, what about Trump? Right. Oh, I know where I've heard that name, yeah. This is the Bible. There's far more chance of Trump disclosing something he might accidentally discover while draining the swamp than Hillary ever disclosing the little she may already know. Additionally, I can't see what benefit any US administration would gain by disclosing anything regarding this issue. How much less likely, then, are those shady characters in the know going to share the very secrets by which they prosper? But there will come a time when nobody can deny the existence of these entities now perpetuating the lie of the UFO phenomenon. And this is where he comes up there. He comes up with the Bible quotes again. That's where I've come across Carl Munford before. Yeah, I mean, ironically, I mean, I don't agree with him over the Bible and God and the fact that UFOs don't exist and stuff like that, because it's all in the Bible. It's not in the Bible or something like that, whatever else he says. But you're right about the US administration and about Hillary. Yeah, Hillary probably doesn't know anything. Trump is I think, the last best hope for disclosure, quite frankly. And I'll say more about that in my next disclosure video, which will probably be the first UFO Disclosure 2017 video. But I think Steve really should give Trump a chance. Grant Cameron, I was very dismayed by Grant Cameron's attitude to Trump. Yeah, I mean, US administration, what would they gain by disclosing? That's the point. How would they get away with it? So this is where so Carl's brought up this question of whether willing disclosure is even possible within the political structures of the world. Do they have the capacity to absorb a revelation of that magnitude? And I've discussed that on previous episodes in that particular video, in this particular video series. Comments pending approval. Oh, none. I've approved them all. Okay. Julian Carver says on Fermerni, what does Fermerni sir mean? Really good video. How much time? I've got to change the film chip in a minute. Ben talking about some of your demons from your past. Very brave. I also have a past dealing with a person who was a psychopath. It took 5 years to get rid of that person. Eventually they became tired and moved away. When the mind war they orchestrated was no longer working on my family. Utter hell for 5 long years. Though, Julian, I know what you mean. It's like, this is exactly what it feels like for me, and I'm not the only one. I mean, this is what several people have said to me since I uploaded this video on Facebook as well. They've told me similar stories. It seems like everyone has damaged goods on their shelves, and some of these damaged goods are caused by interaction with these things, these entities that look human but are not. Globalism, hello Globalism. Globalism is back. And he says on the What About Trump video, love the beard. Been waiting for this video. Been waiting for this video to sum up what has been happening in the UFO field since last year's. Great video, great upload. Thanks, Clawsome. Although I have done other videos in this series if you want to check them out. I think you might have seen the other videos in the series. Go to the links in the description box, and I have my back catalogue in there. You can just go consecutively from one to another. Right. Julian Carver says on the Trump video, they always say it, don't they? UFO fan or buff, mainstream cretins. Yeah, I know. UFO fan, UFO buff. It's always as I was explaining in the video how demeaning that is. They call Max Spears a UFO fan, or they call him various things like that, and it just belittles the subject and our relationship to it. And he says here, good upload, Ben, on the Trump video. I've got to say, I don't for 1 second buy into this disclosure stuff. I hope I'm wrong, for my own sanity's sake in a way. Me too. As I said, I'm in two minds about it, Julian. However, it's not going to happen officially. It's already happening around us, a sort of a covert operation for sure, with all the blatant sightings of craft and abductions, etc. What do you mean exactly? However, that's as far in our lifetime as it's going to go. Do you mean that the aliens are disclosing themselves and witnesses are part of the disclosure process? Is that what you mean? Sorry. Fact is, the masses don't even look up at the sky and see stuff. They don't give a fuck about it. They don't even see the truth that stares them in the face, like hello 9/11 official story believers, yeah? They think lights in the sky are just conventional aircraft. The masses are thick as pig shit. The establishment have controlled the majority of the population for years with mainstream media and mind-controlling politics. So why bother to upset the apple cart even more? I can't see a big announcement coming, even to force more control over society, create fear or push a New World Order agenda forward. Even to keep pushing a Middle East war agenda. Just can't see what the point of disclosure is. Unless they can blame the Russians for it, lol. True. They were getting away with it and have since Roswell, so we are chasing our tail, people. Well, actually, Julian, there's a part of me that really shares your views. In fact, I even think you understate things. However, as I've explained in previous videos, I am split over this whole issue. There is a possibility that, especially now, now more than ever. Now, honestly, a year ago I would have probably just been more on your side than on the other. But now, for the reasons I've explained in the various videos I've made recently, with the collapse of the hidden hand, or the collapse of the presence of the hidden hand, the obvious presence of the hidden hand, I do wonder, I mean, I would say we could never have disclosure, but then I was as certain that we couldn't have Brexit, and I was as certain that Trump would never be president, or almost as certain. So who knows? Who knows, Julian? Julian Carver then says, I agree with Ben's female guest, that's Sandra DeRoy. Putin is more likely to blow the lid on alien life. It's not coming from our corrupt Western powers ever. You're probably right, actually, Julian. I mean, if it's not Trump, it'll be Putin. Russia has probably the largest storehouse of UFO evidence on Earth with the KGB files, which I've talked about on previous videos. No doubt that since the fall of the Soviet Union, more files have been created by the modern, the FKS, the modern Russian intelligence agency. So, I mean, Russia certainly has the most evidence to disclose. I think that's the most amount of evidence to put forward if it comes to disclosure. No doubt about it. Edwardian lady says, Merry Christmas, Ben. Merry Christmas, Edwardian lady. And thanks for you become a regular commenter. And thank you very much. I really appreciate your input. I bumped onto Edwardian lady on a couple of other videos as well. We seem to have we move in similar circles on other people's channels, sometimes unrelated channels. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you too. Right, Paul Armstrong. Paul, you've been quiet. We haven't heard from you for a while. What have you got to say now? I don't understand this need from UFO buffs for disclosure. If you believe in it, You believe in it. Isn't that enough? UFO buff. You used that word UFO buffs deliberately, didn't you, Paul? Because you knew what it pisses me off, and you knew I was talking about it in the video. But on one level, you're right. At the end of the day, it's up to us. We as individuals can, well, for those of us who've had close encounters, and of those of us who have had indisputable evidence in our own lives that UFOs exist, that could be not some of the sightings I've seen, some of the sightings I've heard from other people, which are more spectacular than any that I've seen, and this thing in my arm as well. I mean, which I've talked about in previous videos. Isn't that disclosure? Just, do we need it confirmed by that big Freudian father figure in Westminster or in the White House? That is an issue I actually bring up in my novel, Roswell Rising, a novel of disclosure. Another shameless plug, available at all good bookshops now. So Paul, if you can demean yourself, why don't you pick up a copy? £9, just order it. They'll get it for you. Julian Carver says, Julian Carver said a lot on this video. He's been a good input from Julian on this video. Ben, I certainly agree with most of your comments on Trump. Thanks again for this excellent upload. You're welcome. You're very welcome, Julian. And we're going to change the film chip in a minute. And I intend to do more on Trump, on the Trump UFO issue. I think there's going to be another video before the 6th of January, I hope. I intend to do that. Okay, so now I'm just going to change the film chip, and then we're going to continue. Okay, new film chip in, and I've got, yeah, that should be alright. That should be enough for the rest of the video. Right. Julian Carver says, Happy Xmas, X spelled E-X. Must be. Thank you, Julian. Happy Christmas to you too, or Xmas, or E-Xmas. That's on my Trump video, so thank you very much for that. Lee Cook also says on What About Trump? Alright, so I've already... That's funny. I've got two notices for that. Right, okay. It's the same. For some reason I got 2 notices for that. Oh, I know what it was. It's because I dealt with the 2 comments together beforehand. I get it now, yeah. Right, I've got a comment on Rendlesham Forest 2014, which is a film I'm really pleased with, and I'm really proud of. It's one I did with Derek Savory and a lot of other people back in the summer of 2014. It was really, really good. Michael Hunt says, the Star Child DNA... Oh, let's just... oh, hang on, sorry, I'm going to just... for some reason... Oh, I know, I cut and pasted... What I did was I just transferred some of the files to my computer. Right, so, the Star Child DNA, human. What do they say about that? What? The Star Child DNA is not human, alright? Please do look at the latest from Andrew Johnson about that. Since Lloyd Pye died, the research project is continuing. It's not human, alright? They've worked out it's not a hybrid, actually, but it's not human. Okay? So that's all he says. He just has that one sentence. I can't really reply any more than with a single sentence myself. Ross Rossiter says on the same video. It's not often I got an old video, I get 2 comments in a row on it. Right, Ross Rossiter says, I've got a few business issues to sort out first. That's me, he's quoting me saying that. I've got a few business issues to sort out first. Roughly translates, that means, quote, I'm waiting for my gyro. No, it doesn't. I don't have a gyro. I've got a job. And then he goes on to say, I can't bear the puffing, panting and grunting. Take a hanky next time and move the mic 6 inches further from your cake hole. That's just, I'm walking along, man. I walk fast. I puff and pant when I'm walking because I walk quickly. It's a habit. I'm an ex-hospital porter, for goodness sake. It's not that bad, is it? Come on, it's not that bad. Oh, right, where are we? Right. Let me carry on. Jamie Fairman says, thanks again, Ben, for another great production. Keep up the good work, bud. And that's about the Trump video. So thanks, Jamie. You're welcome, and I will. The good work is going to be kept up for as long as it's necessary. I promise you that. Jamie Fairman says on Fermernism, on what does Fermernism mean? I'm glad you and Slackset are sort of made up again. I will take your advice and have a look at his channel. Oh, good. Please check it out, Jamie Fairman. Yeah, we have made up because, not because we agree. I don't think we'll ever agree, but I can't be bothered to fall out with someone over something so trivial. And I'm sorry that Dave has these issues and he likes to get into arguments with people, but I don't have time. And I'm a peace lover. I'm a peace lover. I know. Anyway, there we go. Right, UFO disclosure. What about Trump? Factory Communication Limited says, if you look back into history, say the 1950s, you will see that that disclosure was made by the then American president. So what are you looking for? It's already been done. And Donald is far too busy saving the USA and the rest of us. I hope to worry about UFO stories. Either you believe, to worry about, saving the rest of us, I hope to worry about UFO stories. Either you believe or you don't. Well, the thing is, what you mean by the 1950s, I think you're talking about the Project Grudge, Project Sign, the official government investigations into UFOs. And that several officials made comments about it. I mean, there was the Condon Committee in the 60s as well. Project Blue Book. That wasn't what we mean by disclosure. Is the irrefutable evidence from crash retrievals. I think that's the centre of it all. It's the evidence that's been secretly salvaged by the government at Roswell and other events like it around the world, which they're keeping from us, and the implications of that, and perhaps hopefully the secret science that's been developed as a result of secret examination of that. My book, Roswell Rising, a novel of disclosures, stop advertising, Ben, goes into this whole issue in detail. And as for Trump, I mean, he's too busy worrying, saving the USA and the rest of us to worry about UFO stories. Well, if Trump wants to save the rest of us, he's going to have to get into UFO stories. Okay, it's a part of that. The UFO stories and this go together. Saving America means addressing the UFO issue. That's what I'm saying. Fuman Boobs says on what does Fermernism mean? Good to hear from Fuman again. He doesn't post as regularly as he used to, but he still comes in now and again. When you blame someone for what they've done, you're ascribing a type of free will to them, and that hasn't been shown to exist yet. If people understood this, they would drop the hate for people, and by understanding that causes and influences compelled the people or persons in questions to act in that way. That doesn't mean to say we shouldn't let people get away with doing crappy things to each other. It just means we deal with it differently as our misunderstanding increases. This also leads to better solutions, as once you have better understanding of a behaviour or situation, you can see better ways of dealing with it. So the free will and blame goes with it should be left behind, and you can keep the hate for what they've done to you if you feel the need to, but that probably won't do you any favours. And it matters that we try to correct problem behaviours, but instead of simply blaming the person and punishing them, we look deeper to understand the problem and its root causes. Once we do that, punishment often makes little sense. Think more along the lines of abhorrent behaviour being a social sickness that needs to be quarantined. Once they're quarantined, it makes no sense to punish them further, and it's not fair. It's not their fault. They became the way, upbringing, current environment, genetic predispositions, etc. Well, Fuman, I think the point of my video was the whole issues I had were not about judgment. I mean, this also touches on some of the things Slaxer says, because Slaxer actually, in the film Fermernism that Slaxer made on his channel, he touches on this point too. But the idea is, my point was, it doesn't matter. The effect is the same. My video was not about a quest for revenge against these people I bring up in the video. It was about how their behaviour has affected me. That's what I wanted to say. That's the point of of this whole presentation. And the fact is, it did affect me very badly, and I can't help feeling anger towards. Well, one of the people I talked about is still alive today, and I said if he turns up in Oxford, I'll throw him out again. If he tries to get into my dad's house when I'm there, I'll grab. My dad won't do anything, because I should have pointed out in the previous video I didn't say anything about this, but my dad has trouble dealing with his situations because he's autistic. And it's not something he likes to talk about. I mean, he's kept this from a lot of people in his own life, but not, what the people you talked about, the people I talk to, you're separate from my family life, so it doesn't matter. But he is autistic, and so he can't really handle things like this. However, you know, I do feel anger. I'm human, correctly or incorrectly misplaced. I can't help feeling resentment for the man who's still alive. I don't think I'd do anything illegal. I would just remove him using all the force that the law allows from the premises. But I do feel angry with him, and I can't. Maybe that's if it was because of some. I mean, whether it was because of some circuit gone wrong in his brain, or whether it's because he's possessed by some demon, or whether he's just an evil man. The effect is the same on me. Do you understand? His behaviour is the same either way, and its effect on me is the same either way. But this is an interesting comment, thanks. And watch Slax's video as well, because he does bring this up. It's called it's not the Fermernicern video. It's called Contagious Mental Illness, I think. Right, Fu Man Boobs says about Trump. Okay, yeah. This is another interesting video by interesting comment by Fu Man Boobs. I side with Sam Harris on Trump. Just listening to the Cosmic Disclosure videos I've acquired. Have you acquired this series? I haven't heard him say much. I haven't heard him say much that I believe in, but I find it very interesting. It seems strange to me that people will believe Sandy Hook was fake, the moon landings were a hoax, and global warming isn't real, yet will believe aliens crashed at Roswell, and aliens are visiting the Earth, and reptile shapeshifters are among us. As a skeptic, I believe whatever has good evidence. I won't say that all events I mention are 100% untrue, but the time to believe something is when evidence is there, or else we put ourselves in a position of believing almost anything, everything, even contradicting events. Think government is back engineering amazing spacecraft from Roswell, yet can't possibly have the tech to go to the moon. I think we're all sceptical of some things, but when you mention your beliefs going against other conspiracy theorists, I see flaws in your thinking. I feel no matter what happens, you'll always be trying to attribute events to some shady cartel or higher powers, whereas a very real possibility may be that this is simply the way people are when it comes to behaviour in our current system. When you mention the problem of skeptics and coincidences, it also seems that you'll relate events to each other no matter what. Where you see connecting events, there needs to be good evidence showing they're connected. Until there is good solid evidence showing a connection, they will remain a coincidence. Enjoy listening to your videos and find them entertaining. Keep up the interesting work. Thanks, Fu Man Boobs, I will. Now, you've brought up so much in this comment that I'm probably going to take a while replying to you. Cosmic Disclosure videos I've not seen. I've heard it before, but I've not heard that. Is that something to do with Dr. Stephen Greer? It seems to me that people, you say, why do people believe Sandy Hook and the moon landings were a hoax and global warming, etc., and will believe that aliens crashed at Roswell and aliens visited the Earth, reptilian shapeshifters are among us? I think here you're talking about the burden of proof situation. In other words, we disbelieve certain things when there's a lot of evidence for them, in your view, but we do believe things when there's no evidence for them. On the other hand, I don't agree with that, you see. I believe Sandy Hook is fake. I believe the moon landings are fake. I believe man-made global warming is not real. And I believe aliens crashed at Roswell because of positive evidence leading to that conclusion. Okay. Have you watched my skeptic video? Skeptics, who are they? Why are they wrong? And why does it matter? It's on my... Just go to my channel page and look at it, because I go into all these various fallacies in detail. And you say you're a skeptic, you need with a C. I notice you spell it with a C. Well done. And you believe you need good evidence. And you think, you quite correctly say the importance of not going onto anything without evidence and contradicting events. So I think the government someone thinks the government back engineers amazing spacecraft from Roswell, yet can't possibly have the tech to go to the moon. Well, no, that's actually a misunderstanding of the issue, because I do believe they are back engineering an amazing spacecraft from Roswell, but don't have the technology to go to the moon. I believe that the NASA and on the lower level, they don't have the technology to go to the moon. And when the moon landing was faked, it had to be done in a way that was believable, using existing publicly available technology. It will be seen to use publicly existing available technology. I'm sure I've never said people haven't been to the moon. I don't say humans have never been to the moon. Again, read my book, Roswell Rising, a novel of disclosure. Another shameless plug. It's all in there. I'm saying that the way that history portrays the exploration, man's exploration in space, particularly the moon, is not how it's actually really been done. I think people have been to Mars, quite frankly. I think people have been to all the other planets as well. I wouldn't be surprised if there are interstellar missions going on in the world of the breakaway civilization. So that you don't understand that the issue is not correct. I think you misunderstand the issue here, Fu Man. And you say here, I think we're all sceptical of some things, but you mention your beliefs going against other conspiracy theories. I see flaws in your thinking. Well, I mean, I actually see. You say I feel that no matter what happens, you'll always be trying to attribute events to some shady cartel or high powers. Well, no, the point of my video, and indeed my President Trump video, and the articles I've been reading on HPANWO Voice, is that something has happened which is not attributable to the shady cartel. This is the whole point. This is what I've been saying. This is why I think 2016, especially the second half of 2016, has been so unique in history. I think I did bring this up in the Trump video, actually. So I mean, I'm saying this. I'm saying for the first time there is no shade. The shady cartel might have exist. I believe it has existed. I believed it existed because of positive evidence, like I've said. But I believe it seemed, for some reason, during the course of this year, it's completely lost its ability to direct events in the lower political structures of the world. And that is the reason my beliefs go against those of other conspiracy theorists is because other conspiracy theorists think that's not true. They think, oh no, it's just them being more crafty. The conspiracy has got so subtle that we can't even see it anymore. I'm the one who's being rational here. I'm the one saying to those conspiracy theorists that their hypothesis is unfalsifiable. So in a sense, I'm taking the skeptic line with them. Do you understand what I mean? And he carries on. It's Fu Man, you are male, aren't you? I get the feeling you're male. When you mention the problem of skeptics and coincidences, it also seems that you'll relate events to each other no matter what. Will I? Not necessarily. When you see connecting events, there needs to be good evidence showing they're connected. Until there's good solid evidence showing connection, they will remain a coincidence. Well, but that's not true, Fu Man. You know as well as I do that skeptics will accept statistical evidence. I've talked about this in previous videos, and I talk about it in my Skeptics. Who are they? Why are they wrong? Why does it matter? I've talked about it there. I used the example of the Sistine Chapel. If the Sistine Chapel was found and no one knew who painted it, it was painted by Michelangelo. And I said, well, how do you know Michelangelo didn't just leave a can of paints at the doorway? And he got angry one day and he just kicked them around the place, and he looked up and he liked the pattern. How do you know that? And they'd say, well, Michelangelo painted it, we know. Well, what if you didn't know? What if it was an anonymous mural? You would still say it was a mural. You'd still say that isn't a painted picture. And yet when you see an image in a slice of toast that looks like the Virgin Mary, you say that's just coincidence. Okay, but where is the cut-off point between the two? Where is the statistical ceiling above which you will no longer accept coincidence as an explanation, and below which you will accept that coincidence as an explanation? You need to state what that ceiling is. In figures, you need to give us an actual figure, and it has to be agreed. And you have to explain why you've set it at that point. You can say it's percentages, you can say it's p-values, you can use Bayesian analysis, whatever you like. But this has to be agreed on, otherwise it just becomes a get-out-of-jail-free card for any debunker. And you say here that I will see events will relate to each other no matter what. No, I'm the one who's saying. No, I'm the one who's saying. I'm the one who says I will not accept coincidence as a. Again, we're saying that the difference between positive evidence, and statistical evidence. And you say you need good, solid evidence showing a connection, otherwise it will remain a coincidence. Okay, so what's your position on the Sistine Chapel issue? On this paradox that I brought up? I'm interested to hear what you have to say. And you say you side with Sam Harris on Trump. Right? I meant to bring this up during the Trump video. When I started reading Grant Cameron, I thought this sounds very familiar, and it did. Sam Harris has basically, well, he's alienated a lot of his listeners, and no, he hasn't alienated me, but he does podcasts, and he's one of these new atheists, and he has gone on an absolute rant against. He's voted for Hillary, and he's urged everyone to vote for Hillary Clinton. Not because he particularly likes Hillary Clinton, but he just thinks Trump is really bad, and he he talks about Trump in using a lot of rhetoric and a lot of emotional language, a lot of adjectives, in a very, very sort of like flamboyant way, which is not his usual style. And he sounds remarkably like Grant Cameron in the way he addresses Trump. And he's quite rightly been harshly criticised for this by people, including me. I've put comments on his videos saying, you know, Sam, this is not up to your usual standards. So if you side with Sam Harris on Trump, Fu Man, it means you think people should vote for Hillary Clinton, and the reason why is Trump is a lunacy, buffoon, crazy, dope, all these other things that Sam Harris said without really getting to the grips of the actual cases or actually engaging with anyone who, with anyone who actually has a different idea. Sam Harris, it would be nice to see Sam Harris debate one of the Trump supporters in the skeptic movement or in the atheist-skeptic community. I know there are not many of them, but there are a few. Just so he can just address... I mean, it was down to Dave Cullen, you know, Computing Forever, to make a video on his own account just saying, Sam, you're talking crap. And why I would love to have seen Sam invite Dave onto his show and do an actual debate on this. So, if you side with Trump, I don't know why. Well, if you side with Sam Harris, sorry, side with Trump. If you side with Sam Harris on this, I don't understand why. To me, that's not very logical. But thanks for your comment. Honestly, Fu Man, I think that's probably the best comment of this particular session. It really is. Thank you very much. Right. Danielle Mandeli on the Trump video. I don't think the president is even fully informed. It's way above him. Presidents are just public figureheads like our Prime Minister. They come and go. Real power lies elsewhere. That's very true, Danielle. But some presidents are informed. And I mean, I think it depends on what level they are as president. I mean, there's presidents with more power and presidents with less. George Bush Sr., I think, was one of the senior ones. He's one of the high up ones. Because his background in intelligence, in the intelligence agencies, it's quite likely he knew more than, for instance, Obama, who had basically, I don't know what his background was in, just being President Obama, I think, or being someone else Obama, you know. And same with Clinton, who again has more an academic background than a military intelligence one. Now, Timothy Good said that the military intelligence complex wants presidents to be part of itself, otherwise it doesn't really trust them. Now, Trump is not part of he doesn't have a military intelligence background, but I think the thing is, if 10 years ago, firstly, he wouldn't have even been president. 10 years ago, he would never know. But the thing about it is, if the powers that be are really losing their grip and the Illuminati are having trouble directing the course of these various individual political power structures in the world, which I suspect is the case, as I explained in the video, it is possible that Trump actually has managed to get hold of that information somehow. We'll find out. I mean, I'll say more about this in the next video, but it could go either way at the moment. Come on, nearly at the end now. It's been tiring. This is going to be a really long one. Meniotius. Meniotius. This is on WikiLeaks. Okay. Most people go to their whole lives without ever witnessing a UFO. I've seen UFOs 2 separate times where I live, and I'm only 25 years old. Maybe that means the alternate beings of the Earth are not afraid of me or interested in my value, perhaps. That could be Meniotius. It could be to do with the person you are, your bloodline, for instance, or your DNA. Certain families seem to have more encounters than others, but also where you live. You might live in a hot spot or in an area where there's a flap underway. But that's interesting. I mean, let us know what you saw. I mean, what was it like? What were the UFOs like? Ian Herndon says on WikiLeaks as well, thanks for the comment. Comment reply video coming soon. Okay. It is Ian. I think Ian is taking the mickey, so I'm going to take the mickey back. I'll put a little wink one there like that. Yeah. Right, this is the last of the comments. There's been some more. I'll go through some more that have actually been posted since I began filming this video. This is the last of the comments that were filmed before. Right, here we are. Patrick Honesty says, better Trump's name than Clinton's. Yeah, I mean, Yeah, we wouldn't want the Clinton Foundation on the side of any reverse engineered saucer, would we? No, I know what you mean. Right. Oh, now we come on to the. Now that's I just published that. It's coming on to emails. There's a few others as well. There we go. Travel Republic. No, that's just a spam. I don't want that. It's spam. I don't want that. It's spam. Hold on, hang on. I'll just go through the YouTube. Right, here we go. Awesome, Ben. Down with the New World Order, says Dioffler. That's he's replying to the comment, to the statement, the comment notice I put on the video. Okay, and what's this? Right, that's just Twitter. So I'm just I just got to sort out the YouTube ones from the others. Right, cool. Dioffler. Cool, mate. Love your videos. Right, thanks, Dioffler. And here is what's this? Oh, I don't want that. That's just comment on another video. All these are comments on other videos. Let's get rid of these. All right. It's just because now it's just like a bit of a mixture. So I haven't actually sorted out all the different. There we are. Okay. Right. 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 So I've got a. Someone has posted a comment just now on. I want to bring this up because it's an important part of how YouTube works. Okay. So this is not my video. This is another video which I posted a comment on earlier. Someone called Iconoclast Viturpations has told me this. Get yourself killed, faggot. Okay. Right, okay. Alright, what I'll do, I'll say, okay, do you fancy meeting up with me? Do you fancy meeting up with me sometime? So you can say that to my face. To my face. No keyboard and monitor. And monitor. To cower behind. While you strike me, while you airstrike like that. So, do you fancy meeting up with me sometime? So you can say that to my face. No keyboard or monitor to cower behind where you airstrike me. See, this is what I said before. They say these rude things to you on the internet, and then like he'd ever, this guy, whoever he is, doesn't give his real name, would ever stand in front of me and say, "Get yourself killed, faggot," to my face, knowing how I'd be right in front of him. I could respond. It's so gutless, it really is, and it's just I just loathe these people. They're despicable. Oh, Bronto Max says Bronto Max has responded to my comments show notice. I always relish watching the whole thing. Oh, nice one. Well, I hope you enjoy it, Bronto. Steve. Oh, right, this is good. Okay. That's lovely. Okay, and that is now there's a bit more spam, and then that's it. So I'll just that's sorted. Okay, that's all the comments, all done. Now the Google Hangouts. Okay, there is going to be another live stream Google Hangout, and this is very important. It's going to be sometime in the days after Christmas, and it's going to be with someone called Colin Snuggs. Now, I'm not doxing him. He said what his real name is. He is a skeptic, and he is the skeptic who goes by the name, sometimes goes by the username Beatsart, and he has a comment. He has a channel called Roid Freedom. Roid spelled R-O-I-D, one word. Next word, freedom, and it's basically he's commented on a couple of my videos actually. It's basically a channel intended as a setup to kind of lampoon me and criticise me. But I've agreed to challenge him to a debate. He is a die-hard skeptic, and I am a die-hard believer. It's going to be skeptic versus believer, and it's going to be on Google Plus. And me and him are going to basically do a head-to-head. And it's going to be, I'm going to be polite, I'm going to be civil to him. And he is going to reply to me in a civil manner, and it should be entertaining. I think you'll enjoy it. This is probably going to be the next video I upload. It's going to be after Christmas. And yeah, beats are so Colin versus Ben. And we haven't arranged we haven't finalised it yet. What we're going to do is, we'll do a little test show, a little test Google Hangout, where we will just announce it's going to happen. So I'll upload that so people know it's going to happen. It'll be at least 24 hours before the real thing, so you can watch it live, and you can put things in the comments section which we can answer directly. But it'll probably be quite a long one actually, because Colin's given me a long list of stuff to go through. But yeah, it should be fun. If you go to her HPANWO Voice, I've actually done an article about this called Colin's Elbow in the Rib, so you can check that out. So stay tuned to that after Christmas, should be fun. And of course there's going to be another UFO disclosure video. In early 2017 is going to be the first UFO disclosure 2017, because I know I've got a lot of material I want to put into a UFO disclosure video now, to do with Trump and to do with other things, and to do with what Steve Basset has said about Obama. So I think I very, very much want to get that done before Friday the 6th of January, so keep a look out for that as well. But, oh, blimey, I'm going for a long time. That being said, this is probably going to be my last video before Christmas, because it's Christmas Eve tomorrow. Yes, I've got to start wrapping my presents actually, and things like that. And but you guys, I want to say thank you very much for everything you've done over the years, for supporting me through these years, and especially through this year, which has been a very, very interesting year to say the least. For you guys, you comment, you put these comments on here. Sometimes you write very long and interesting comments, which are very thought-provoking and need a lot of discussion. And you don't have to do that. I mean, it's really quite humbling that you take the time to do that, and it means you really appreciate what I'm doing by making these videos. I'm getting hoarse now because I've been rabbiting for so long. So thank you very much for all your comments, even the rude ones and the stupid ones. They're fun, they're interesting, and it's always a good laugh replying to them. And tomorrow's Christmas Eve, then Christmas Day, then Boxing Day. I don't know what you're doing, whether you call it Yule or solstice. I mean, we've had the solstice, but whatever you call your Christmas festival, whether it's something politically correct like holidays or something like that, or whether you stick to good old-fashioned traditional Christmas, whatever it is, I hope you have a good one. I hope you have a lovely time with yourself and with your family. Hopefully you have families you can spend time with and build bridges with them. And if you're bored of watching Gone with the Wind or the James Bond film, and people want to watch something different for their Christmas Day, you always get to YouTube and switch on HPANWO TV, and you never know, you might interest your family in some of the videos that I've done. Well, until next time, there will be, of course, another comments reply video when there's been enough comments to reply to. Thank you all very much for watching. Happy Christmas, Happy New Year. If I don't see you again, have a wonderful, see you again before the New Year. Have a wonderful New Year as well. Be careful with the fireworks. Don't drink too much brandy. Don't eat too many mince pies. Just eat enough to be fun and to enjoy yourself, like I do. And I do have my limits, you know. Hospital porters, pride and dignity. Stop the New World Order.